get the ingredients, know what's going to cook, and then each day cook. If you saw my for social media, every day in the evening, I cook fresh. And it was, if you looked at my food, you think, how can you lose weight eating that? Because I knew what I was putting in there.
That's it, yeah.
And 1 cow spray, chicken, vegetables, and it's about proportion.
You're right. Day 3 of the food after it's been cooked up in your microwave and another sweet potato. I'm like, nah.
I promise you, Indian don't have to be a treat. It can be part of the actual regime.
You know, but what I like from Indian is my treat.
But actually, there's science to having a treat meal.
I will cook for all 3 of you.
Here we go.
And you will not know it's not from a restaurant. It'll be all healthy. There's some people. There's some people in this room who've had my food, but I won't go there.
Beiju's Bargies. Oh, who's had Bargies? Let's guess.
Who's had Beiju's Bargies?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Let's have a go. Here we go. I reckon. I'm scoring it out. Who's had Beiju's Bargies?
It's like a lottery, isn't it? Beiju's Bargies. I don't think they're in the room.
Hang on. No, hang on. There's a couple.
Probably taking photos, isn't she?
There's a couple of others. There's a couple. She's not in the room, but there's a couple of others as well who've had my curry. Let me think.
Oh, Trey must have had your curry. You two are new best pals. You're like twins.
Who me and who?
You and Trey.
Yeah, Trey's had my curry. Yeah, Trey. I wouldn't have knew best pals. I've been known him for ages.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, known for.
Where's Trey? Trey in the room.
He's doing a lot of training together, haven't you? So
he's training. No, we trained once. He came to Southend once. He came to my gym, but I've known Trey for 7, 8 years.
Scared him.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh,
before Clubhouse. Yeah.
Oh,
I knew him through Landmark and stuff.
Ah, right. That makes sense.
I met him through there.
Anyway, I had a good diet this week. Dose of sickness and the other stuff.
Yeah, you've had a kickstart to your health routine, haven't you? You're getting healthy though, aren't you? You've got a PT starting with your Monday with you?
Starting Monday, yeah.
Is he starting Monday?
Starting Monday.
Is he starting for both of you on Monday? Or just
he
you?
Started for both of us on Monday.
Is he?
Have you been in your peloton?
I went to dust it.
You got a sweat on. The thing for Paul though, in his defence, by the time he's walked from one side of his mansion to the other side, that's about 5,000 steps anyway. So he's already done.
On your watch? Do you track your steps?
I do track my steps.
Yeah. What's an average a day?
I do 10,000 steps a day every day.
Then that's great.
But
when
he goes up and down these stairs, he's got 12 flights of stairs. I watch his con. I honestly, no, it's not. Sorry, I'll take that back. Apple, if you're listening,
they were going to start off the show. You idiot!
No, but. My watch tells me I do 30 minutes of exercise every day and 10,000 steps. But what does that really mean? Absolutely nothing.
It means nothing in his isolation, but in the context of the whole life.
There he goes. He's sniping people.
No, it means that yes, I get that you're moving and for mobility, it's good and all of that sort of stuff. I get that. But actually, from a wanting to do a lifestyle transformation and get fit and that type of stuff.
It's just part of the equation. It's like when you say you could have all the business, but if you haven't got that one system in place.
I'll give you an example. We walked yesterday, and I don't know if there's settings that I can change on my watch, but we walked from where the car park is to where the venue, to where the room for EMC. It's about 15 miles. It's not. You have to go around some corridors to get to the car park. But anyway, we needed a tape measure, which I happen to have in the boot of my car. So I walked back to the car. Well, in that walk to and from the car to get the tape measure, I got 6 minutes of exercise. Well, how is that exercise?
Well, it is. It's movement. When you exercise, people think exercise is lifting weights and smashing the treadmill. It's not. It's movement.
I've seen how you walk because you got a bit of a swagger, haven't you? Like a Conor McGregor.
When I did my transformation, I didn't do hardly any cardio. It was mainly weights and walking. It's nutrition. So it's everything combined. It's like anything. You talk about business systems, right? You could have a great business, but if one of the systems is out, it doesn't work. So it's not about the steps in its own right. But then if you went for a meal and had 3,000 calories.
My favourite thing is when Paul Apple Crumble doesn't like what you're saying to him, but he knows it makes sense. He pulls his face like he's got constipation, and he goes from annoyed to, actually, this guy's got to put. Oh yeah, I suppose I should. And then if he gets really annoyed, he just gently sips his coffee. I mean, he's not even sipping that. He's just literally putting that to his lips.
Yeah, and he can press the mic.
You can watch this bullying if you want on the live stream as well. We mentioned this a live stream.
No, I listen. I know everything's in balance, isn't it? But.
Is it in balance though? Is it in balance though? Meow, meow, meow.
I'm not going to go into a food diary of what I eat live on Clubhouse.
I am,
but probably I could improve the eating. But I don't drink alcohol.
Do you know what you need to cut out?
I drink is far too much coffee.
You know what you need to cut out, don't you?
Yeah, milky coffees as well,
especially in the evening. When you need to cut out
the coffee before you go to bed.
Your coffee and cookie in the evening.
I do like a coffee.
Favourite thing I found out yesterday.
I like a bath with a candle.
Run us through your evening. Like, how does it happen?
Where most people found in relation to nutrition and diet is usually the main meals of breakfast, if it's lunch or dinner, are usually okay. It's the stuff in between. It's the odd chocolate, the odd crisp, the odd biscuit, the odd that. All of a sudden, that can add up to.
No, do you know, the biggest problem for us is eating too late. So
Again,
we
that's
have
a fallacy.
but we have two choices because we've got 4 kids, so the house is carnage, right? Let's not beat around the bush. So we either eat at between 4:30 and 5:30 with the kids, which is far too early because most of the time, if I'm out of the house, I'm not back in time.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it goes into bath time, bedtime routine for the kids. By the time that's done, and I've got a 12-year-old now who's going to bed later and later. By the time all of that's concluded, it's 8:30 at night. So then now you're not even attempting to start trying to.
Yeah, but eating late, timing is. I'm not a nutritionist or PT, but speak to PTs. Timing is irrelevant. It's what you eat and what proportion.
Yeah, but you can't be healthy to eat at 9 o'clock and then go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Well, get nutrition on. I promise you.
That can't be good.
No.
It's not.
It's not that it doesn't burn as well because this is why I'm trying to do my fasting earlier because there was like
okay, but you said it can't be good.
Sejal's flashing. Let's get Sejal on. She knows.
You say it can't be good. From what I've learned, is the timing is less important than what you eat. Sejal?
Is Sejal there? Sejal, can you please jump in with some, because we've got some rubbish bro science going on here based on absolutely zero knowledge. So if you could jump in and save us, that'd be great.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Right, so Beiju's partly right. So it's not when you eat, it's what you eat. But there is a link to having certain types of food and not being able to sleep at night. So yes, your body is preparing. So obviously it has melatonin in your body and that's preparing your body for shutting down. So your digestion and everything shuts down and your energy goes towards detoxification. So it goes towards your brain in terms of storing memory and detoxifying the liver and things like that. So it's doing other processes. The last thing your body wants to do is break down food. So you will find that your digestion slows down in the evening. So it's best really to try and eat something that's not so rich in kind of processed foods and things like that, but not so rich in carbohydrates or anything that's like an energy source. But you want something that's like light and can break down quickly. So
far too complicated for me. I'm just going to get a personal chef. Anyone know?
So the principle here is like
vegetables and things like that, rather than kind of stuffing it on simple carbohydrates and things like that. You want complex carbohydrates.
We're on mute. There we go. We're not on mute anymore.
Yeah.
I was saying far too complicated for me. I'm just going to get a personal chef.
It's
There you go. That's the solution. You get a meal prep or a chef. So what are you saying, Sergio? Are you saying that we can eat later, but we don't really want to have carbs?
No, you can have carbohydrates.
Oh, we can.
You don't want to. You don't want to eat anything that's going to kind of make it really difficult for your body to break it down, because that's what keeps you awake at night. Is that digestion process. So you want to eat something that's really light. So like, I don't know, cereal, fruit, things like that, kind of, but combine it with like, I don't know, fruit and yogurt or something like that. You want to kind of keep it a bit light.
Sergio, what do you think, and please be honest here, what do you think about Paul's cookie and milky coffee just before he goes to bed? Can you give us some professional feedback on that, Sergio, please?
The cookie's light.
whatever you're telling me.
It's what cookie?
And I use skim milk.
And
I'm not going to demonize.
That's the thing, like, we have this
you can't eat one cookie. If someone tells me they could sit there and eat one cookie,
Do you dunk it?
Sergio just said she's not going to demonise.
Sorry, Sergio was going to comment on it.
Come on, Sergio. What do you think?
Which cookie is it?
I'm not going to demonize food.
Go on, demonise.
No, there isn't such thing as good.
There's no
and
bad food.
Yeah, there's no.
Oh,
bad food.
come on, Sergio.
Everything
Just
in
tell him off.
moderation, honestly, but yes, the cookie is not the best source of kind of nutrients for your body late at night, because obviously it's processed, it's got loads of sugar in it, it's simple carbohydrate. So if you want to eat anything, I would say if you can try and eat something that's a bit lower in sugars, and maybe like got nuts and seeds in it. So maybe
Paul's face is like, what the hell? I've one pleasure in life.
One little pleasure.
And definitely not a coffee. Oh my god!
I know. This is what we said.
He's crucified.
We were talking about sort of like evening routines. We already mocked Paul anyway, because he likes to have a candle in the bath and have a bit of Zen time, which is this sort of like consistent juxtaposition, because he's like this old school like house DJ, but then he likes to have like some Zen time in the bath with a candle by himself. And he also doesn't believe in mindset and manifestation, because he thinks it's all nonsense, which is hilarious, by the way. You get talking about that later probably. But then he's like, we were sort of laughing about that, and then he's like, my wife says to me, you probably shouldn't be having that coffee and cookie before you go to bed. And I was like, hang on, what? You have a cookie and coffee like a small child, like a milk and a cookie, like a small American kid.
I've got one of those.
Bed.
Yeah, but I've got one of those
Do you have it in bed?
Nespresso machines. That
Sister,
froth
does
the
that make it
milk.
right?
No, but
Oh, it's got frothy, but don't worry, everyone, it's got frothy milk. That makes
sometimes I put maybe a little bit of vanilla syrup in it. Or
Thing is,
something.
though,
shut up,
Milk
you
is
two.
actually good. Milk is actually good for you because it actually does help you relax. It's got, you want foods that are going to help you relax. So milk is actually good for you. So having
It's the
hot
caffeine
milk.
and the cookie.
I have no trouble relaxing when my head hits the pillow at 10 or half 10, 11 o'clock whenever I go to sleep. I'll struggle to wake up till my alarm goes off.
Because you're in a sugar coma.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Do your
No, do you know what it
biscuits.
is? And I bet there's a lot of people that struggle with this. Like, you are of an age where I'm not saying you only got you to worry about, but you like
Jesus.
No, I don't mean it. I don't mean that enough. You get where I'm coming.
You know,
right?
there's new things.
I've got very young, we've got a very young, busy family. And I bet there's a lot of people out there because all of this is great. But there's a lot to think about if you do it like that, like what's
It's really,
So when you've got a busy life and you're doing lots of things and you've got a young family, it's a difficult thing to try and implement.
Yeah.
It is difficult. I know
It is difficult, but not impossible. So it's about
no, I'm
choice.
not saying it's impossible.
Yeah.
Well, this all comes back to we're going from it from Monday. We've got somebody coming to personal. I've got a personal trainer coming in for me and my wife twice a week.
Good.
But
if you do that,
he's looking at nutrition and all.
exactly.
Oh, is he
If
gonna
you
do
If you
everything?
do that in isolation,
He's going to do everything.
if you do that in isolation and not look at the nutrition, then it's a false.
No,
economy.
he does the whole lot. So
That's
he's
good
gonna
then. That's
look at
good
the
then.
whole
But
lot.
he can do that. But you need.
And
He's a
keep us
beast as
accountable.
well. He's a beast. But not in a bad way. He won't just be like, well, you've got to put it up and get massive. Like he really knows his stuff.
Who is it?
But a guy called Ben Aldridge. You might know Ben. He's from over Harlow way.
Oh, okay. I can't.
He's
can't
like
picture
6.5 foot, like super
Is it?
good looking dude, like a TIE fighter.
Okay.
You're going to have a great time.
Paul tried to correct him. No, Paul.
Do you know that you need I think you need a system for lifting this weight. Just get it. I'm going to kick you in the head. I can't wait.
So
for
anyway,
Monday.
there's no bad food. Indian food is good food if you cook it right. And
I know, I love my
I
Indian.
will promise I will cook all three of you. A full.
We should do it.
Is it bad?
we
The
should do
Indian
it.
restaurant know the name of me, my wife, and my kids.
No.
Do they?
Huh?
Well, to be fair, last night I went into the kebab shop and he was like, "Hey, how are you?" And I was like, "Mate, let's not get friendly."
I'll ring my Indian takeaway. I'm like, it's Ashley. He's like, see you in half an hour. That's all the conversations. I'll see you in half an
And
hour.
what's your default order? What's your go-to order?
Set menu for one.
What is it? What is it?
It is a chicken chatham puree.
Chicken chat.
Chicken tikka masala.
Hold on,
2 onion bhajis.
Why for one?
What?
Why for one?
Charlotte.
Do you share it with Charlotte?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're massive. Like,
Yeah, right. So,
okay.
so chicken,
They're
chicken,
absolutely
so that's like
massive.
chicken curry on a fried puri. Fried puri is like proper unhealthy. But anyway, go on.
And then,
What's that?
and then
What's
chicken
fried
tikka
puri?
masala.
Puri is like
Like a prawn puree, you know, like the
Yeah, but the
bread.
puri is
Roti
bread
bread.
fried, deep fried though.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
Deep
yeah,
fried.
at the one I go to, a set menu for one would feed 3. Set menu for 2 would feed 6.
Yeah.
They're just massive when they
Yeah,
come.
but that's
go on. So what are you having? So you having a
Chicken chatham puree.
Chicken chatham.
That's 1,000 calories starter.
Okay, and chicken tikka
Number
masala.
2,000.
Rice.
How much rice? The full portion.
Sagaloo.
Sagaloo. Spinach. You got a bit healthy.
Yeah.
Spinach.
2 onion bhajis.
Oh.
About 5 poppadoms.
legend.
You've done about 3,500, 4,000 calories.
No,
in that meal.
but
Says much
last
time, don't
week I was like, no, mate, I need to change my order. And I went
And what do you say?
just for chicken tikka.
Yeah.
Mushroom-
Shashlik's fine. Shashlik's fine. Good vegetables. Isn't it?
Yeah, just chicken tikka on its own, rice,
No rice. Not too much rice.
and
That
2 onion bhajis.
what you done there?
You only just telling you about it. No,
Lose
you've
the
done
onion-
well then,
You
mate.
should see the size of them, James.
Lose the onion bhajis, chicken tikka.
Lose the fun.
No, lose the fun. Anyway,
We've just wasted 49 minutes of our lives talking about that.
49.
Yeah,
29.
50.
29.
29.
No,
Sorry,
it's
29
30.
Yeah,
minutes.
don't worry about it. It's only
No,
20
it's
minutes.
6:49, 20 minutes. 20 minutes of our lives. Yeah. there we
Well,
go.
good morning, everybody. Welcome to Breakfast with Winners. Today, sponsored by Beju's Bhajis, your number one healthy Indian meal prep that can only be bought and purchased fresh for next day delivery in the area of Southend and 1 mile radius thereof. Hey, I tell you what, actually, I reckon the food prep thing is going to get a little bit easier now because there's so many dark kitchens. You've heard about dark kitchen? You know about dark kitchens.
Dark kitchens.
Dark kitchens.
What, ones
Have you
that
had-
haven't got lights working.
No, not like the dodgy Ilford calves that we normally have our lunch from. No, dark kitchens. These are brands that only exist on like digital. They don't have.
Oh yeah, so like
storefronts.
Deliveroo and Uber Eats. And stuff
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's like whole sort of like
Shipping
commercial
containers
kitchens.
and car
yeah,
parks.
that's right. Yeah, and
Nice.
they're changing them around. It's actually like, well, yeah, you've got to be careful what you're buying and who you're buying it from. But they're there's loads of them popping up.
Well, we've considered, because there are meal prep companies, aren't there, where you can go and
Yeah.
get like a 500 calorie dinner and lunch and stuff that's delivered.
We did Gusto for a little while for like young, busy families. That's quite good, especially the days where the kids go to like nursery and they nursery feed them. So you can actually like cook the dinner and you don't have a kid going, I don't like that today. You liked it yesterday. I don't like it today.
How was his first day at school, your little boy? I saw your story.
He loved it. He went off skipping with his mate. I was heartbroken and tried not to cry in the playground. That was my day. I had to man up because I knew I was going to speak to Paul.
Did your wife
Costa.
get upset?
There's a lot.
No, she's a right old
No,
frosty
it's the
one.
other way around.
No,
in our
no,
house.
no.
Like my wife is the one that doesn't want to let him go at the
Oh, I'm
door to
awful.
door to this classroom.
Like I'm a big crier. We had a quiz at my wedding, and there was 110 people there. We said, "Who's going to cry first?" And categorically, 100% of people said James will cry first, and 100% of people were right. I'm just a crier. I like a good cry.
I cry as well. I cry a lot.
That
You-
surprises me. I don't think you've got any emotion in you whatsoever.
I have. I've got anger and sorrow.
Two different ends of
Two different ends of the spectrum. There's nothing in between. There's no nice middle ground with me. It's either all or nothing. I'm either furious or I'm.
Am I a crier? Was your question? No.
This is the last time you cried, Paul?
When I locked myself in a bathroom when I had a relationship breakdown and failure, and the
That
business
years ago. You talked
years
about that
ago,
story.
yeah, because I this like
And that was like couldn't pick yourself off the floor kind of crying, wasn't it? Not
yeah,
just like a
no
grizzle.
coaching here, by the way, but I
He can't help himself.
no,
Look at him.
I know my flaws, but one of my biggest flaws is I struggle to show emotion. So I'm very, but that's because from a young age, I was always like growing up. I was always ever told by my all of the mistakes that went wrong in my mum's life was my fault. So I was the reason for why her life was
really?
so shit. Yeah, I was
And
told
thing
that
is-
from the youngest possible age I can remember. That was what I was told. That
Oh wow.
life's so bad because of you. We lived in a council estate because of you. You know,
Oh, that's toxic.
it was always my my problem, my fault. So like when you get given that from such a young age, you sort of did build up quite a
coach
quite a
coach of that.
deep sort of thick skin.
Yeah,
So
Jesus.
one of my biggest problems when it like early on in like relationship stuff and with kids, I really struggled to sort of show emotion because I've become very cold to any form of emotion.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm very process driven, because for me that's like an obvious.
I had a conversation,
path.
conversation last night with my daughter. We something came out about my marriage breakdown, and there was a perspective. I knew how she was feeling, but there was something that came up that she was. It's not blame, but there was an element of forgiveness both ways that weren't there, and we had this really deep conversation
Between you and your daughter.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And we had
Okay.
this it's like the story that she thought was going on in relation to the breakup was her perception, and that you could understand that that's what she thought was going on.
How old is she?
Now she's 25,
And how old was she? At the time?
18.
Oh, okay, right.
17,
So,
18,
so quite
yeah.
old. Okay.
And then I said, actually, that wasn't the case, but I get that that was your perception. And I said, if I'm telling you how it was from our point of view, would that change the way you feel? She went, possibly, yeah. And I said, how then would that make you feel in terms of how you look at the future? And she just paused and started crying. And I said, because what you thought was going on and your feeling is 100% validate, and I get it. However, it was based on a story that was in your head that you thought was going on, but actually this was what was happening in relation to what was going on. Now, if you knew that was the case, how would the last few years been different for you? And she started, yeah, it would be different. I said, she goes, but it's really hard. It's really hard to change the perception, because by now accepting what you're saying was the truth and not what I thought was the truth means that all of a sudden I've not wasted, but I've like the way I've been in the last several years is not justified.
Has no basis.
There's no basis, right? And she was like, but if I then accept that, how can I cope with that? I said, it's forgiveness. Don't worry about forgiving me. Forgive yourself. And there was little switch, and she had, what do you mean forgive myself? Forgive yourself. Look, I get that you might not want to forgive me or mum or what was going on. I get that. And I'm never going to, that's your privilege, and that's fine. like you said, Paul, right? What was going on? You have the right. I'm not going to ever say you should show emotion, you should cry. It's not about that. It's about your own journey, but it's understanding that there is different perspectives on different things. And the story and I said that what you thought, is that the absolute truth or just an assumption? What would you say? Well, it is an assumption based on loads of things that you've made up, that some you have perfect evidence for, because mum did that, dad did that, you did this. So therefore, if you did this, it means this, and you're right to have that perception. But if I said, when we did this, it was because of this, now how does that change your perception? And she went, oh, okay.
You dropped a complex equivalent on her. Bosh!
And then it was like, really like, and it was very, very considered. It was very balanced. But then I said, but now this is not about today you sort of switching the story and think, okay, I accept you there, because you've got to do what you need to do. And I said, how does that turn up in your life now? She goes, yeah, there's certain things you say to me where I know it's because of stuff that happened before. And I get that. So I'm never going to make you wrong. I'm never going to, because you're right. Otherwise, it's not my honor. But then I'm asking you to consider this perception. With that perception, what now? Let's live for 2 weeks, assuming the other truth, the other assumption, the truth, and then see what occurs. And if I don't like that, then you can go back. You have the privilege to go back. So
does she know that she's being coached? And she's like, oh, Dad, don't do that coaching stuff on me. Or do you do it so subtle? Have you been doing it for that long that she doesn't realize what's actually going on?
They sort of know. But what happens is, even though you know it's going on, you think, actually, this makes sense.
Yeah.
So even though you know it's going on, it's Dad, they think, okay, that makes sense. So do I rather be right or be open?
Yeah.
So a lot of people write, well, I'd rather be right than progress.
Yeah.
Because if I let go of being right, I've wasted these previous years.
Yeah.
And then it's that point. So when Paul said, well, that was the last time, and it's understandable. Oh, hang on, there's a bit of feedback here. What's going on? Whoa. Can you hear me? All right. Okay. It's understandable. So what coaching does is trying to accept that all of these perspectives are 100% valid. But then it's like, okay, well, if you carry on the perspective you have at the moment, does that serve you right now and going forward? And you have now the choice. Yes, it does. I will carry on feeling this way because of X. Or you can say, let's consider for 1 week a different perspective to see what life looks like. But then you have the choice after that 1 week, I want to go back to how I was feeling before.
But you know what, though? The difference with me is I'm generally not unhappy in any way, shape or form with my life. I absolutely love every single element of my life. Like, I'm not unhappy. I'm conscious about every decision I've ever made. If I had to make the decisions again, I'd do exactly the same.
Would you do everything exactly the same?
But I get what you're saying, Paul, right? And you're
not off the hook.
I get what you're saying, but we also know that if you look at an iceberg, the conscious mind is like 5-10%, and the rest is unconscious. So we don't know what we don't know. So I'm not going to dispute. You could list all the things there in your life, your family, your relationship now, your kids, your work. You think, you know what? I'm all right. I'm doing good. And you've mentioned about Clubhouse came along and it gave you a new lease of life. And I get that. But where you think you think I'm at 95% of how happy I could be, where you've placed 100%, when you look at things in a different perspective, you're actually at 70%. Oh, wow. What could be? Now, to go there requires a little bit of inner work, requires a bit of perspective.
But you don't know me well enough. This is what I'm saying. I've done years of inner work. I've had years of counselling.
Consider this.
And I honestly, Beju, years and years of it, because to get to the position where I'm in mindset terms, I don't speak to a single member of my family.
So consider this
for a conscious choice and a conscious reason. But that's from years of inner work and treatment.
So consider this. Just because we've done a lot of inner work, it doesn't mean that everything's been resolved.
It does for me.
I get that, but that statement.
If you're using me as an example,
no, I'm using anybody.
It does,
But consider that that statement in itself shows it hasn't. That's all I'm saying. I'm not asking you to consider that. That's all, because it's very easy to sort of say, "Well, I've done the work. I'm very conscious about not wanting to do that, which is your privilege and your right. No one on this earth has a right. Well, no, you should go and speak to that person. No one. However, do not consider that you can't address those things and be even more happier.
I know I have addressed them. I've gone all the way around the circle. I've gone from, did I make the right decision? Yes, I have. Did I? Yes or no? Should I reach out and speak to them and rework the problem? Yes or no? I've gone through all of those questions, and it all comes back to I'm perfectly happy where I am. To go back there and have conversations again is of no benefit. That person has not changed their perspective at all since in the 15 years of not speaking to them. So therefore, it won't make a blind bit of difference to anybody's lives, apart from spending weeks of banging your head against the wall to get nowhere, to get to the same situation as we are now. So therefore, it's going to add. The way I operate is you either add value to my life or my existence, or you don't. It's a binary choice.
100, and I get that, and I get that.
And there's certain people that I no longer wish to associate with or be involved with because they add zero value to my life.
And I get that, and
that's why Ashley's got to leave today at 9 o'clock and never come back to Ilford.
And I get that. Just to sort of bring it to, and I get that and respect everything you're saying. Where I'm coming from is like there's always a consideration of another perspective, and I completely respect where you're coming from and completely understand, because they think, well, why would you even waste your time around people who don't serve you? And I get that. However, consider that you might be at 95%, but when you look at different things, it could be at an even more. There's even more gold at the end of the tunnel. That's what I'm saying.
That's all he's
saying. That's it.
I'm not. Yeah, in general consciousness, I'm not saying that concept is not right.
Bloody hell.
But in that circumstance of my family past,
I get that.
I'm at 150%. Yeah, I'm at 150%. I'm fully worked on all of that to get to where I am. It's just, I've never known my dad, and I've got no interest in knowing him.
I get that.
I know where he is. I found him. A private investigator went and found him.
I will find you.
I know exactly where he lives. I've seen photos of him walking along the street. I know all of the information. It's in a drawer in my office. Got no interest in going to see him.
I get that.
Because
no one has the right.
Because quite frankly, what difference does it make to my life right now? I've got no unanswered questions. He's never made any effort to attempt to contact me. So therefore, thanks very much.
And I get that. And no one on this earth has the right to tell you anything otherwise. However, consider. That's what it is.
Yeah. And the point I'm trying to make has been well considered.
I get that.
And put back in the box.
I get that.
Thank you. Good night.
There's some excellent coaching there. There was an attempt to coach Paul to be a happier individual, and it's not going to work, guys. Give it up. He just likes his bath.
There's one lady on Clubhouse who did get through to me. She is actually on Clubhouse.
Oh, is she?
Who is that? Yeah. Someone's got feedback. I'm not going to say her name. No. She's
here. She's here. Lucian's here, by the way.
No, I did have a few.
Looking very angelic.
I did have quite a lot of therapy with somebody who is on Clubhouse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but not through Clubhouse. This was years. This is.
I'm about to say, don't get therapy through Clubhouse, mate.
It's been ongoing for a while, but that all of this stuff that Beiju's talking about from a family perspective, yeah, we worked for all of that, and I was still a miserable prick at the end of it. So there we go.
So it doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work.
I wouldn't say prick, but there you go.
I would. Right, let's quickly reset the room. Good morning, everybody. We're talking. Well, we're supposed to be talking about endurance and resilience.
We've spoken about
Indian food. We've talked about Ashley's dietary choices. We've talked about Paul eating cookies and coffee before he goes to bed. And if that wasn't enough, we've just now had an angel of Clubhouse walk in. The angel of you look like
angelic. Very
you look like you're going to like an Oscars party or something. You had to have a wash. Have you done your hair as well? Had a little brush of your hair?
You had to have a wash.
She's put some makeup on. She's brushed her hair, everybody. This is not how she normally rocks up to Clubhouse. I don't know if we can say that to Lucian or not. Is this not? Is that allowed? Okay, we should have like a card system when we're face to face. Green card me, orange card if it's getting a little bit not too short, and just a big thumbs down.
I don't think there's a middle ground, James, with you. So.
No, that's right. Yeah, it's either like you've nailed it or you're an arsehole. It's one or the other, isn't it? But the reason why we're talking about endurance and resilience is because at 7:30 we have got multiple medal winning Paralympian Karen Dark, who's coming on to the show. She might be coming to the live stream, or she might come to Clubhouse. I'm not sure yet. She's got both options. We will find out. But Karen is involved in something very, very cool called Quest 79. And we're actually, as the Winners Club, we're running a whole room, like a 10-hour room for her next week, all around this quest, where she's getting people to take on these mad quests. And she's going to be telling us a little bit about her journey, a bit about her story, how she became the Paralympian superstar that she is now, and what Quest 79 is all about at 7:30 this morning. So I'm very excited. Let's have a little jingle, shall we? Paul's going to press a button.
You are listening to Breakfast with Winners, exclusive content direct from the Winners Club. If you are enjoying the conversation, click on the green Monopoly house at the top of the screen right now and join the thousands of winners already in our community. For even more actionable content and powerful lessons, download the free companion app now. Just search for the Winners Club in the App Store or Google Play. For more information about the Winners Club and how to become part of our growing community, head to thewinnersclub.club. Now, back to the show.
Oh, the croissants aren't going to waste.
Yes.
She said that looking angelic. She knows what she wants. She wants a croissant, and that's it. She's not here to mess about.
I baked them this morning.
They can be healthy.
They are the most messiest croissants I've ever seen.
What?
Because they're fresh.
I don't hoover it, don't worry.
Paul's
Not sure who does.
Paul's like, I think they just magically disappear sometimes. I come back in.
The crumb fairy comes overnight, and then all of a sudden the crumbs are not there anymore. You've actually got a very
Henry,
he's a lovely
legend,
guy.
A legend. Henry is my very religious man.
I thought you were talking about the
he's a
Hoover.
really, really nice guy. He's worked for me for a very long time. And he's a really, really, really nice guy.
He's
Henry the Hoover.
He's a very
That's what I'm saying.
That's what Elliot said.
I've terrified him on about 15 occasions where I've been sat in that podcast studio and all the lights go off because everything's systemized and automated, and poor Henry comes in to like clean up, and I'm just like sat there in the dark, and he's like, so sorry. I'm like,
Do you know
I'm
one
sorry.
of those guys that calls you sir? And he knows you, he knows your name, he's known you
Proper
for
old
years,
school.
but he's still, hello sir, how are you?
Proper old school.
Yeah,
Respect.
every single time.
Top
yeah.
man. Should get him in.
He will be here about 4 p.m. this evening if you stay around.
Is he the guy that said, please let Paul know that he needs to like lock that door?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, very, very polite man.
Yeah, Henry.
Yeah. I didn't know that was his name, but
And his wife Vera, it's Henry and Vera, so his wife Vera as well. They're here together, and Vera works in the building next door.
We talked about leadership
Yeah.
yesterday. I think it was Claire talked about there's this one person at the hotel who's always there. They keep it all going. Is he that equivalent? Is that always been here and been? Sort of,
He
Just say yes. No, there we go. No, just say yes.
So that one person's me.
Oh.
No, it's not. Big Joe,
That
Joe
warm
who I
leader.
spoke to. Joe, who's my father-in-law. He's the engine of the place. He keeps the place going, so to speak. But
Wicked.
Henry and Vera, they're like the facilities
Henry
team.
and Vera.
Yeah, so they
Sounds like a TV show,
I know.
doesn't it? Another day in the life of Henry and Vera.
And to be fair to them, through COVID, they've had their work cut out because we've had them doing like they was coming in.
He literally cut their work.
Hello.
Sorry.
What you doing? Where's that?
No,
we've got no jingles left for that. I think.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
We made the point of like we've got. I'll show you. I'll get the backpack and show you. We've got a backpack like a sanitization backpack that sprays, so they like twice a day.
Like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Henry
Oh,
will
God, really?
walk through all the buildings, spraying everything, and spraying the toilets and the lifts and stairwells and stuff like that. Yeah,
Especially after Ashley Shipman had been in there.
yeah.
Who's got a share?
Don't worry about people sharing Beiju. It's the Beiju show today.
No.
When you've paid as much as you have to have Beiju's Bargies as the headline sponsor of the show, you take it over. What would you like to talk about?
so just before we move on there, this show is sponsored by Beju's Bargies.
Please go to beijusbargies.co.uk.
It was called Saffron Lounge,
/.
actually. It was called. Well, it is called Saffron Lounge. The restaurant I had.
Did you have a restaurant? Did I know
Yeah,
this?
Hamley Court Road.
I don't know where that is.
Well, it's in
really?
Southend. Yeah.
Is it still there then?
It's still there. Yeah.
Oh, I know exactly where that is.
Saffron Lounge.
Yeah. I
And,
know where that is.
You've been in there. You go for a chicken shashlik or whatever you order. Did you hear him pronounce chicken shashlik earlier? It's absolutely made my day.
I was front of the house.
Were you?
Yeah.
When was this?
2010, we opened it. We had it for 3 years, 3 of us. And then we got to the point it was quite successful when we all doing other things. And we said, like, one of us needs to take it over.
Yeah.
And we were like, nah. 10 days later, we sold it.
Oh, that's cool. Didn't you have a bar as well, or a restaurant or something?
I had a coffee shop.
You've had a coffee shop.
Yeah.
What have you had? You had any like food retail businesses? You set up your game.
Yeah.
You set up your game. Croissants, it suits you.
I've still got all the coffee shop equipment in the basement
He
downstairs.
has. This is. Oh,
I've got a room full of coffee shop equipment.
But the thing is,
we should start a Winners Club coffee shop.
Oh, there's coffee supplies in the flipping.
who done very well in that industry?
Who?
What?
In that restaurant bar industry.
It's hard.
It's
Oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't start one then.
it was
You're only as good as your last service.
it was it was just it was
It's relentless.
That's the
the
ethos
biggest
we have for
lesson
this.
it's the biggest lesson that
I can imagine you working behind the bar.
No,
I can't.
I wasn't.
Imagine
I
draining
was
it.
actually.
They'll have to
I-
get you a step or something.
Oh
to
no, I
stand.
wasn't. Do you know what? There was so many wrong reasons why I'd done it. There was so many wrong reasons.
Was it in Southend as well?
Right,
Money laundering was that one reason?
The old
No.
French
I
inventors.
just wanted a night. I just wanted that
That was
bar.
up next to Nick Mayhem.
Yeah. I was like, I just want a bar.
What was it called?
Bottle Yards.
Bottle Yards, of course it was.
Next
Oh, that's actual Bottle Yards, all right? Yeah. Go over for a chicken session.
Do you know what though? Now I reckon running a proper bar like that now. You know, like the old school bars where you had casual staff and they're always nicking the money and all that sort of stuff, right?
The good old
not beat
days.
around the bush. That used to happen all the time, didn't it? And but now with cards and contactless payments, I reckon it's a lot cleaner to run a business like that, like a busy nightclub type bar venue, because you could just card only.
Do you know what we should do?
Do you know
We
what
should do
killed it? Fights. Like you got trouble and the bouncers claiming that they could deal with everything.
Yeah.
And it's not that. As soon as you got that reputation of it kicks off there, it kills it. And
the thing with Southend, you get a lot of, because the footballs are on the seafront, you get a lot of outside people giving it all the badge, and
it was.
I know a couple of. There's one man here, Faces nightclub. They've been running.
Is that local to here?
Yeah, Scants Hill up the road, but running for 30 years. Like the respect to the guys that run it, to talk about endurance, but to run a business like that for 30 years and keep doing it. The Chandlers that used to run Charlie Chan's and Walthamstow Dog Track, same thing. Had that going, kept that going for years and years and years.
We had Tots in Southend, Talk to South, Talk Tots, but then it's gone now. But,
another thing
was, if you're in Essex, if you're Southend, Chelmsford, you know Tots. Anybody here? Flash the mic. You've been at Tots. It was Talk of the South.
Tots is a bit like Studio 54 of Southend.
Yeah.
Literally nobody flashed there, but it's just you by yourself.
There was a few. They flashed. They don't want to flash room.
Hard business to be in. It's definitely hard business.
Would you, knowing what you know now,
Not a lot.
which isn't a lot, but would you do like a coffee shop or something again? Would you do retail?
Yeah. Do you know what the coffee shop was below the building? Because for those of you that don't know, this is an office block with shops below it, but the shops belong to us as well. So in one of the shops, we put a coffee shop, and it was just 2 years ahead of, well, it was about 4 years ago now. It was 4 years ahead of its time. Like we were doing what you would get in central London. So really, we developed our own coffee, roasted our own coffee, like really good.
Oh, nice.
Coffee and sandwiches and stuff like that. But in the area, it was just in the wrong. It was just 4 years ahead of its time in this area.
Because there's one fancy coffee shop up the road now, isn't there? That does like speciality stuff.
Is there where?
Opposite that dodgy Nando's knockoff. I know I'm not really selling it here.
Is it Roosters?
Yeah.
I've got to say,
so
Roosters.
that was good. That came since I closed my one. But it just wouldn't. We've got about 120 people across the buildings in terms of footfall numbers, and it was like you was banking on them supporting it, but you just couldn't get there. They was conditioned to walk up the road to Costa.
Yeah,
and it was just habit that they'd walk up the road to them.
Or use the machines that you've got in here for.
Well, the machines have come later.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, but yeah, would I do it again? I don't know.
Let's see how we go on at EMC.
That was the same. People,
Let's see
that was the same. It
customers.
was cash business. You'd come to cash up at the end of the night, and there'd always be a tenner short. It's like, really, come on, guys, seriously. It's not that.
Just ask for
difficult.
the
It's an electronic till that tells you how much change to give them, yet you're £10 short. Like, come on, serious. Oh no, I don't know what's gone on.
I do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, exactly.
I know exactly what's
but
happening.
it's just them businesses, isn't it? It's just.
Okay, here's an interesting topic of conversation then, because we probably should have one at one point, at least at some point this morning. So endurance and resilience is almost like a flag of honor or a badge of honor, and you're like, I'm going to be. You said about the guys who run Faces and the people who run Charlie Chan.
It's closed down now. It's now a block of flats. But the point being, they run. They run a nightclub for many, many years, which I think would be tough.
Yeah,
would be tough.
So how do you sort of in your mind know when? And we're going to chuck this out to the audience as well. How do you know when it's time to dig down and have that level of resilience and endurance? And how do you know when it's time to wash your hands?
Well, with the restaurant, it was really. Within a casual conversation to open it was 10 weeks. A friend of mine had a unit. He owned the freehold, and he had an A1 license. Had a restaurant there, and that guy defaulted and ran away. So he goes, "Look, I've got this unit. Do you want to do it?" Nah, not really. 2 hours later, go on then. Right. So we got the name, sorted the menu out, literally refurbished it, and 10 weeks later we opened the doors. And I never run a restaurant before, but you just you go with it, and we made some mistakes. We got the wine list sorted out in the restaurant. It was great, and we grew a reputation where locally, our 5 mile radius was all takeaways, but a lot of people came in a restaurant from outside because we created this sort of destination thing. Oh, let's go there. The actual area was not a nice area, but when you got in, it was really nice. It was great. It's one of those secret things where you walked in, oh my God, where's this from? It's that kind of rep we got. And it got really successful. The thing with a restaurant is you make your money on the Friday and the Saturday, not during the week, right? It's dead during the week. You just got to hope for it. And these sort of saver cards, I'll come in and get 50% off. That's a false economy because the person who comes in for a 50% curry on a Wednesday does not come in on a Saturday. So the purpose of they think the theory is, they buy the curry and they like it so much they're going to bring.
They're going to come back.
They're going to come back. They're not going to pay, £10 for a curry they got for £4 on a Wednesday. This doesn't work.
Yeah.
So that's a false economy. So, but we got to the point we started going really successful, whereby Fridays, Saturdays, it was ram rock solid. We had from about 5 till about 8 takeaways, and the restaurant was filled from 7, literally. So the kitchen was going, and we sat down. We said, look, we need to hire a manager. We need to hire this, and one of us needs to be here. It's like one of those things where if one of us is not here, and one had the dry cleaners, I was doing my thing, the other guy did some other property and health stuff, and we sat down. We said, look, we looked at each other, right? If one of us doesn't do this, and we carry on as we are, we're going to fall out. So either we sell now, or one of us dedicated. And literally within 2 hours, no, none of us want to do it. So we said, right, we got to cut our losses. We got to cut our losses in that right, and we sold it. We put it on the market. 10 days later, we got an offer and we sold it. That was done. Now there's not a day I regret that. I don't miss it at all because it's a different lifestyle, and none of us do. But because if we did, we would have either run to the ground, we would have fallen out, or something like that. Now we're still good friends, all the rest of it, and it was fine. So you have to have an honest conversation and say, okay, what's best for us right now in terms of our careers and our life? And we just cut loose.
Yeah, but is that working with each other every single day?
Well, we were there weekends. The thing is, you have no social life. If you got like a restaurant or you just literally no social life, you can't because, you've got to be there 24/7, or at least from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then during the week, you just sort of chip it over.
In answer to your question, before we bring other people in, when do you know when to cut your losses? If I invest in anything else that's not me, I invest that money on the assumption that I'm going to lose it.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So, because then you're not emotionally attached to it, because then you can make the right decision and say, you know what, it's not quite working. You can, if you've put all of your life savings into a business and that's all you've got, and then you're emotionally attached to the outcome that money needs to have for you, you're going to keep going and keep going and keep going, and you're going to run that dead horse for a long time to try to turn around the situation.
Would you say you're a risk taker? How risk averse?
100% a risk taker.
How risk averse are you? Are you
Massively,
pragmatic?
Massively. Yeah. So my I've got like a savings and investment plan that I follow that I manage all of my financial affairs on, but 70% of that whole portfolio is weighted towards high risk.
Wow.
Is it 70%?
Yeah, because I'm comfortable with that, and I'm of an age where I see myself as still having time to recover.
So you
I've got to where I am in 15 years. Yeah, I'm not even 40, so therefore I've still got a long time.
Got another run at it if you need to
recover. Yeah, there'll become
interesting mindset.
There'll become a point where that flips.
Oh, look at Lucien's face.
So I thought you were a pragmatic risk taker. I thought you were like pragmatic. You weigh up, you take risk, but you weigh the odds towards you. But you're saying no. I'm prepared to.
I'll take calculated risk, but if there was a spectrum of high risk or low risk, I'd go for a high risk approach, because I'm of an age that I've got time to recover.
Yeah, I get that.
That will tip in the opposite direction at some point. But
I always like to ask: do you use gamble?
Like,
when I say gamble, like have fun, like bet on the.
So I go casino sometimes. But the thing is, I have like a £50 float, and once I lose a £50, my float, then that's it. Whatever's in this pocket, it's £50. Whatever's there stays there. So I don't use anything I win. But
I remember asking someone, and he was like, "Why would I gamble on something that's not in my favour?" And then just the statement that you said.
No, I've got gambling accounts, and I like if there's a football match on or something, and it's for a bit of fun.
It's fun.
Boxing match.
It's for fun.
Yeah,
when the fun stops.
Do you know what? That's an interesting mindset, actually. I would say we get him on the show, but you can just about hold a conversation. But I know I've got somebody. He's
here. He bought croissants. You got to say
that. He's like Ashley, but times 50. Like,
oh my God, get that guy.
The Essexisms. But he's a professional gambler.
Ashley was quite offended because he's not that Essex.
I'm not that Essex.
He's a professional gambler.
Essex and Ashley.
What, poker or?
No. Horse racing.
Okay.
But he
Is it a business to him?
Of course, it's a business.
Yes, business.
Yeah, it's straight out business.
And I invested money with him for about 2 years, and it only changed because the online gambling companies really went hard in regulation to prevent what we was doing.
It's like professional poker players.
Yeah, no, that was high risk, but it was great. The return on investment for me, I looked at it like an investment. But we invested money with him, and he was gambling our money. But we was aware of what he was doing, but he was gambling our money, and the return on investment was like.
How is that any different to giving it to a stockbroker? To
exactly, yeah. But he's double. He's 6 figures of income per year off of gambling. Lives a really nice life off of gambling, but in horse racing. But he is not emotionally attached to it. He treats it like a business. He looks at the data. He has a plan every single day. It's very structured in what he does. He has an office with staff in, and it's all very
So
structured.
his happen to be horses and things, and someone else might be
Gas or energy,
Exactly.
or
It's
it's exactly no difference. It's no Forex. I do quite a lot of stuff with Forex. I never speak about it. I actually spoke about it with you, Steve, for the first time. For the first time yesterday, I do quite a lot of Forex stuff and indices. Quite a lot of it, to be fair, but I never speak about it. It's high risk. I quite like it. You lose, you win sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway.
Oh, did you notice the language pattern there? You lose, you win. Sometimes you don't win. You don't win. You lose. You lose. You win.
But this comes back to where the conversation started. I struggle to show emotion, so therefore I'm not emotionally invested in many things that I do. And that's probably a good thing when it comes to stuff like that.
Oh, 100%.
It's a good thing in relation to that.
You can close the door,
good things.
You can close the door and walk away quite quickly.
I often say to Paul, I was like, can I talk to you about my feelings? He's like, I don't care about your feelings.
What are feelings?
What are feelings? Let my robot assess you. AI.
Has anyone
you're
ever seen
fine.
Billions? My favourite quote of all time. Do you see Billions?
Yeah, Billions is great.
Right. So the Axelrod's right-hand man, I can't even remember his name.
He's such a good actor.
But there's a line he uses in the show where somebody comes into the office and is talking about like their feelings being involved, and he turns around. I'm not going to swear, but he turns around and says, "It's lucky your effing feelings are not a priority in this business."
That's a great line.
Great line.
Lucian's wincing.
That is a great
So I
line.
love
I've never
Suits.
ever repeated that to anybody. But
Get on the microphone. Come here. Lucian's here. I'm going to go and sit over there.
how emotionally am I involved in this?
He's
Hang on a second.
he's gave me a few cuddles.
Has he?
But we saw their photos done. He was enjoying that arm around me.
He really wasn't.
No, when I'm
Not rigid.
It's emotionally involved but not attached.
no. When I'm in it, I'm involved, and it's my passion, and I live and breathe it. As these two will, and there's passion there. But if it ends tomorrow, the door's closed. Next chapter starts.
So it's emotionally
I
involved
won't
but not
dwell on
attached.
that. I'll wake up tomorrow. There'll be
But
no
I think that's
dwelling on it.
entrepreneurship. I
There'll be
think
no
that
dwelling,
is.
and there'll be no like, okay, yeah, it was a shame it didn't work, but
But that's good.
On we move.
That's a very good, powerful
Good to know.
mindset. If you
Cheers.
can have that, a lot of people can't. That's why. So that's a good, powerful mindset. You're emotionally involved but not attached. And I talk about not attached to the outcome, so I can see whereby you're fully in, passionate.
Yeah.
You want to make it work.
But
you do
also,
all
I know what the next business and the next business and the next business after that is, because my life has
You don't
always,
tell me.
my life has always
me.
been since I
Don't
was a
tell you
kid.
nothing.
Where's the exit? Like, where's the door? Growing up, it was always, I want to leave this council estate. So how do I get off of this? So my whole mentality of growing up has been, what's next? Where's the exit? And I still think like that. So that's why I don't dwell on it, because I'll know what my next project is. I've got a book full of them. I know what the next one is and the next one after that.
Is it like my pile of ideas?
And I'll just bounce on to the next project.
Okay.
Like that's not, some people would call that shiny penny syndrome. I think it is if you're trying to run them all at the same time, but I'll know what the next one is beyond this one. And,
What's the next one?
And I'll,
What's the next
you
one? I
might
want
be
to know
involved,
now.
you might not, but it's
Have you not been told, James, yet?
No, I'm not.
We'll tell him later.
no, it's growing.
If you-
I'll grow this place. So,
We'll tell him later.
I thought you wondered what you're saying. I'm going to be growing what? Hang on, it's Ilford.
I can't
We're doing
put
a grow.
the time.
What?
CPD.
I can't put the time into doing what I'm doing with you guys here, and also growing or seeking investment to grow the serviced office portfolio to the level I want to grow it. I can't do both at the same time. So I'm
So
here.
if Clubhouse didn't come about, you'd be focused on the service.
Yeah,
offices.
probably. Yeah, I'll be out there raising funds, looking for new buildings, and growing the office portfolio.
And instead, you
But
knock about with me and Shipman.
I would.
Good choice.
When the time's right and I can replace me in this with somebody else, and I keep going back to systems and processes, but when I can free up my time here to spend my time in that, I'll spend 12 months on growing the office portfolio. That's just,
It might.
Who do you socialise with?
Turn your mic. We can't hear you.
Me, myself, and I.
We haven't heard from you this morning. Everyone's probably worried sick. They're probably wondering where you got
It will
to.
give really bad feedback. You'll need to swap the chair out.
Yeah. We have
Lucian asked, who do I socialise with? No one really. Yeah, no, I don't. I generally don't. I find that difficult. These
These two are the best mates now.
We went to Waitrose.
we had lunch in your car.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Don't throw us under
So
the
you're
bus.
saying if breakfast stopped tomorrow, would they still hang out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, there
I'd
was
I'd
absolute inconsistency with the message and the tone there, wasn't there?
No, I would keep in touch.
Yeah.
Would I? Would,
keep in
I'll keep in touch. Oh, it is
Christmas
cold,
card,
isn't it?
birthdays.
Listen, honesty is kindness. No, I would keep in touch. Yeah, I would keep in touch.
It's all right, James.
Good to know.
James, calm down, James. It's fine. He loves
okay.
you.
You got any jobs going at Beju's Barges? I think I'm looking for employment.
But then I don't like if you looked at the 6 human needs, like relationships and friendship. I don't. That's not on a value for me. It's not like it's not.
But I need love from Mr.
Growth,
Apple
significance. They're strong in my like where what I need to fill my cup up. Friendship and relationships. Just because relationships has never been. It's something that was never ever taught to me. So it's a part of my brain that probably doesn't even exist. Like I said,
That's what I talk about. You know, you thought 95%, and I think 70% of that explosion. But you're
yeah. But if this all finished tomorrow and these two were friends, what value would they add to my my life? I'm only joking.
I'm going to make you my friend.
I'm only joking.
nothing's in jest.
I'm only joking.
I'll be your swimming pool cleaner. I'll be your swimming pool cleaner. And James can clean the gym.
I'll do the gym because no one's going in there. There's a thick layer of dust in there. I'll clean the pelotons, the treadmills. Anything. I'll do East Wing, you do West Wing, and we can meet in the middle and see if he wants to have a coffee with us.
Maybe
a little cookie.
You've heard us banter. That banter can only occur via friends. But is there a trick? So going quite deep on coaching myself, probably the part of the brain which probably triggers that as friendship, that probably needs to be rewired and connected. Because do you see these two as friends? The obvious answer to that is yes.
What's the truthful answer?
Shut up, Beju. He said yes. What's wrong
I
with
said
you?
the truthful answer is yes.
Okay.
We get on as friends. But do I put a value on friendships? No, because I've got no long-term significant friendships. So therefore, I probably don't put a value on them. Because if I put a value on them, I would have kept them going. Yeah, I can think of nothing worse than an old friend saying, "Do you want to come up to London to go to a bar and have a drink?"
Yeah, just
like waste of my time. Quite frankly, a waste of my time. That's how I look at it and process it. Like, what value is there to me to go there apart from to listen to them talk about whatever? Like, it's not. I'm being like open and talking about how my brain processes stuff. So it's not that I don't value. Like, if we was to meet and talk about a business or a venture or me helping them in their venture or their business, I'd be there for 4 or 5 hours and I'd lap up the conversation. Absolutely love it. But casual small talk, it's something that really just
irritates you.
Just like
I get it.
We've got a group of mums and dads that we've become close to around at my children's school because they're
party poppers.
If you didn't have that pool, no one's meeting that pool.
No, we've been quite lucky. One of them's a partner in a law firm. So he's relatively entrepreneurial to some extent. The other one is a senior IT guy for BBC. One works for a big investment bank. So they're all not, I wouldn't say entrepreneurial, but aspirational, I guess. So one of them's quite big into personal development, and it's quite funny because he's, where everyone starts on the personal development journey, where we all were years ago. Tony Robbins, is that
where he's at?
No, the other day he said, you might like this guy. So that's how he started the conversation. It was all quiet, didn't I? He was like, don't want to tell anybody. It's like the secret. It's this guy, who is it? It's Tony Robbins. Good. And I sped him up on the journey. I said, check a couple of these guys out. You might find that a bit better. But it was just do I consider them as friends? It's great conversation when we get together. And but I see that as it serves a purpose because all of our kids get on well. And actually we all became friends because the kids got on well. And now we've been on some holidays together and stuff like that. But, and if my wife say, right, they're all coming over for dinner, I would entertain it and I would be like, right, brilliant. Okay, that's great. But if she said, would you rather sit on the sofa, me and you.
The more you
or
talk about this,
have
Paul,
everyone over for dinner.
the more you
It would
talk,
sit on the sofa, me and you.
the more you talk about how you see friendships or rest, which is great. I love your honesty. Explains a lot about how you run your life and your business. Which
I've
is
got
great.
a lot of answers from today.
Yeah.
Ash,
Explains
you need to have a
hundred- lot.
separate meeting, a sub meeting.
I've already just texted you.
I've got it.
Yeah, you've got my calendar link. Maybe.
Shall I speak to Maria, your PA?
Don't do calendar links. That at least.
But the thing, going back to all of this,
Don't do calendar links.
going back to all of this, because I'm mindful we've got two super coaches in the room, both with their eyes glazing at me. One of them sitting on the sofa like she's in a professional meeting, looking at me like
Lucian's
She's
She's
in the
not
background,
coaching you,
yeah.
she's counselling
Yeah.
you right now.
She's like, tell me more.
Now
Tell me
she's
more.
mirroring. She's mirroring. She's doing NLP mind tricks.
She is. She looks like the lady in Sopranos. You know, the counselor in the Sopranos. Have you ever seen
I didn't watch
Sopranos?
It's Sopranos. I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Right, note to self. Sopranos.
You've got. I'll get a.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you've got to watch that. Tony Soprano goes through years of therapy, and the counsellor.
Oh, I do
sits
know
exactly how
yes.
Lucy M was just sitting
Yeah.
looking at me.
Yes,
But I'm not saying I'm uncoachable.
I am.
But I've done lots of work on myself to understand. I understand myself intrinsically well. Like I know.
And this
every bit of-
morning, I think we all understand you.
my brain's
much
wired,
more better.
but I'm perfectly at home and in
I think we
comfort
need
with that.
Lucy
It's
in
not
on.
like I want to say I want to fix that because I need more friendship in life. It's not
It's your
like
values. I get it.
I know where I am.
And it's a very
It's not
powerful.
that I'm uncoachable. But
I am very similar to you. Very similar in that whole friendship arena.
Paul's like, no, you're not.
I know that I can rely on myself. And I think with friendships, a lot of friendships are created because we need other people to support us emotionally. I can support myself emotionally. So yeah, I completely relate to what you're saying.
But that's what, if you're using friendships for emotional support, that's a dangerous place to be.
Absolutely.
If friendships are there for friendships because, it's a laugh, all the rest of it, I get it, but you've explained it's very, very, it makes everything how you are, where you are in terms of how you've, I've didn't know you before Clubhouse, explains a lot. And it's good. It's a good place to be. Your mic, James, can't hear you.
This all makes sense now.
Where are we?
We have got a lot of answers. Right, let's have a reset.
Can you change Paul's batteries today? I don't know. I think they're running low.
running low, I'm on top form.
No.
You know, when you take batteries out and you just give it a little rub and you get a couple more minutes of use because of the static.
So on a serious note, if you look at what do you get from friendship, enjoyment of time. I spent 3 hours in the car with you two yesterday. I
loved it.
I generally enjoyed my time. No, I did because we had great conversation.
Yep.
We worked through a lot of problems and we like gave
100%.
ourselves
At a Mackie D's.
some rocket fuel for the next 2 months.
Yeah.
Based on spending 3 hours together. That to me is a perfect friendship. On that note,
You are listening to Breakfast with Winners. Exclusive content direct from the Winners Club. If you are enjoying the conversation, click on the green Monopoly house at the top of the screen right now and join the thousands of winners already in our community. For even more actionable content and powerful lessons, download the free companion app now. Just search for the Winners Club in the App Store or Google Play. For more information about the Winners Club and how to become part of our growing community, head to thewinnersclub.club. Now, back to the show.
So, good morning, everybody. Just to quickly reset the room there. Oh, hang on a second. What's happening there?
you could have picked a better time to do that than just as we was as I'll tell you what, I'll drop the Winners Club just as the jingle finishes and just as we need to be speaking. Cheers for that. Somebody's just sent Rayanna's just sent a message. Can we talk about our trip to EMC before the guest comes on? We'll quickly talk about that for 2 minutes. It was a beneficial trip. What we've done is it was really funny actually. We got there and Matt said, "This is the room that you can do the Breakfast with Winners lounge." It looked like an aircraft hangar. So we said to him, "Matt, how many people have we got that have got access to the Winners Club lounge?" And it's a good number. It was like, "Oh, okay," and we've got all of this room. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Can we
Five side football pitch?
Can we drape it? Can we make it a bit smaller?
Nerf war.
Well, you can. It was like a full size football pitch. So anyway, we completely readjusted Matt's plans. And,
at one point, Paul's old school days of working in the construction industry kicked in because he was going to get, those like banners that go up around building sites. You can't get like near them. There was going to be about 300 foot of them in this room. He's like, yeah, no, we'll just get those, and then we'll get these things printed up. It's going to be like, we'll get some Harris fencing. We'll put you can get those sleeves over, and we need to work on that now. It's probably about $2,000 worth of printing. We need to get that sorted. And then he was like, we could just use a different room. And I was like, should we just use a different room then? That makes more sense. It was enormous, but it's what we've come up with is pretty special, isn't it?
I reckon the best lounge in the house, mate.
Oh yeah, 100%. And if you're not there, you can go to emc2021.com/TWC.
We've got a little breakfast for winners stage.
It's about 50 square foot.
So Friday morning, you're going to be broadcast there. So breakfast
every morning, live breakfast,
6:30 onwards. Yeah,
we've got
Friday, Saturday, Saturday normal 6:30 or 7, and daily habits.
No, we'll do 6:30. We'll do a little bonus, I reckon. We'll do 6:30.
Around Sunday 6:30 as well.
There's around 50-ish winners that have from the club that have purchased tickets, which you all get access to the Winners Club Lounge. So we've got we're going to set up a live version of this on the stage, 6 seats, so we can have people out the audience come up and get involved, and tables.
Will it be broadcast on YouTube?
And that might be technically difficult because we're not quite sure on the internet connection. So we've got
the Winners Club is now an audio-focused brand off the back of yesterday's conversation in the car. So
we know we've got enough bandwidth to do Clubhouse, but it's trying to stream the video. I'm not quite sure. We'll try and make that happen.
We'll do it through Facebook Live.
But we've got a nice stage and space for 6 people. Space for 6 people, and it's good and a roaming microphone. Somebody's going to be coming around. So instead of flash your microphones to speak, we're going to ask people to.
Are you going to have a branded thing? Are you going to get a branded like breakfast winners? What's the thing?
What's one of those?
I don't know what it is.
That sponge thing,
Oh, the pop shield.
Yeah. But you get a little thing round, isn't he? Like the
we should probably. Yeah, no doubt.
And we're going to say, put your hand up to speak, and then the mobile microphone's going to come round. But it's basically overlooking the main stage.
Who's going to run round? Ryan? Or?
We were thinking that Ryan could support us, but I'm thinking because I'm speaking.
Ryan's there with his fan, which is over there, by the way. The fan's there. Look.
Oh yeah.
Ryan's fan's there.
Is that actually what he brought in?
He started fanning me and feeding me grapes when he come in.
That is a legendary move. How did I not see that? I didn't see it. No,
it's on YouTube.
Oh, this is brilliant.
No, he was making
addressing that point. You've not been here for 3 weeks.
But after Ryan shared, Ashley did it to Ryan because the share was phenomenal.
Nice.
Ryan shared after it was phenomenal.
Yeah, because his share was phenomenal. I felt honoured to feed him grapes and fan him down.
He thought you was ghosting us. The fact you've not been here for 3 weeks, it was even as bad. He had to ask me for directions this morning to find the studio again.
I loved it. I was there on the first time. I loved it. I was doing the buttons and everything.
Well, yeah, I did see that. I was a bit concerned. Where's everyone gone?
And Ryan said, like, is this a permanent role for me now? And we was like, yeah, like
chief fanner. Well, we thought like Ryan could maybe do the mic running, but because I'm speaking twice, I'm probably gonna need security for all the fans. That's what we thought, didn't we? So we're probably gonna have close protection.
What the plan is, this is the plan. Just quickly coming off of EMC, Breakfast for Winners is going to be live from that lounge every morning, 6:30 till 9 a.m. We're actually going to need to finish at about 10 to 9 so people can take their seats in readiness for EMC to start at 9 o'clock. And then in the lunch break of every day, we're going to be getting a lot of the speakers, which are also attending the event in its entirety. We're going to be getting the speakers to come and do extended interviews in the lunch break and dropping in back into the Winners Club Lounge, which will also be broadcast live as well.
And all recorded.
As well. Yeah.
Wicked.
So that's the plan, Batman.
Yeah, there's some really cool speakers.
Are you getting branded t-shirts?
Oh, yeah, we should probably have a uniform, shouldn't we?
No.
I was asking the question, not instruction, Lucian. I was just asking.
AD's put here in the comments, will you all be signing autographs?
James is doing 2 shows, so he'll probably give you 2.
I'm doing 2 shows.
AD, top and his posters that he's giving out.
Yeah, I've got posters. I've got a digital poster because of COVID regulations. You do have to swab yourself down before you touch me because I'm kind of a big deal. But we will be doing autographs, but you have to bring your own pen and your own piece of paper. And it has to be PCR tested before you give it to me because I'm a big deal.
Show me you're clear.
And you're also, because you're going to have to go through Ryan first as well. So Ryan's going to do top level security before everyone gets
Ryan needs to be in all black.
He needs to be in all black, yeah. He already knows that. He's got a ninja mask and everything.
He's now online right now. Looking, he's now ringing his mate going, you've got one of them badges to go on your arm.
Can I borrow your CIS card?
I will wear gloves. Anyway,
kind of
we've got
party.
a guest. Let's move on from the ramble.
From the nonsense. Right. So we're very, very excited within the Winners Club. So every single day we have actionable conversations about a variety of subjects. And today we're talking about endurance and resilience. And this lady is probably the epitome of endurance and resilience. We've got the one and only Paralympian, Karen Dark. Karen, are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning, Karen. So we are very excited because next week we have on Tuesday, the 7th of the 9th, and the 7th and the 9th is very important for a good reason. On the Tuesday, the 7th of September, for 10 hours, so from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m., the Winners Club is the very grateful host of Quest 79, and we're going to be running the room all day long. We've got a variety, we've got dozens and dozens of guests coming on to talk about their own quests, etc. So Karen, for those who don't know you, of which there might be a few people in the room, even though you're a Paralympic legend, could you give us the 2 or 3 minute summarization of who you are and how you got to become the Karen Dark?
Oh my goodness, you're challenging me here. Well, how did I become myself? I was born in Yorkshire, and I was a pretty ordinary teenager. I didn't really like doing sport that much to start with, and then something happened when I was 17. I went on a youth expedition with Yorkshire Schools Exploring Society. I totally dismissed myself from being able to go on it because I looked at this poster in my school and it was expensive and it was to China and it was like, that's not what people like me do. And it was just a state school, nothing private or anything. And a couple of friends were applying to go on it and they just said, why don't you as well? And it seemed kind of crazy, but I had the most incredible transformative weekend of my life. I was crawling through rivers and caves in the Yorkshire Dales and just getting wet and muddy and sleeping to the stars. I came back and I felt like my life had just turned, well, it didn't need to turn a corner, but it just felt completely transformed by this experience of adventure. And so I ended up taking this journey for a year, fundraising, getting jobs to raise money for this trip to China, which would be like cycling through the wilderness of Western China. And I think that was my first opening really as a teenager into the power of adventure and what it can have, the impact it can really have on our lives, just to open our minds and see things differently. And so, we started right back at the beginning. So don't worry, I'm not going to go on a blow-by-blow account here of my life, but accelerate forward. I got really into climbing when I was 21. I had a rock climbing accident and fell off a cliff in Scotland, broke my back and became paralysed from the chest down, which of course isn't what anybody would choose for their life. But I think this kind of adventurous mindset that I had and have, and the fact I was surrounded by friends with that kind of mindset just massively helped me, because I just I didn't launch into this new life. I clearly went through a period of feeling pretty bad about it and really focusing on what I couldn't do anymore and feeling down about that. But fairly quickly I realized that we've got this life and we've got one choice as to how to live it, and we can either see it through a negative lens and all the things we can't do and all the limitations, or we can flip it up and see it a different way and just be curious about what's possible and what we can do. And every single day when you're in a wheelchair is an adventure, because you just never know what's going to happen. You never know what random person is going to just start a random conversation with you. Some people come in directly they'll just suddenly ask you, like, can you have sex? Can you have babies? And you're like, I don't even know you. What's your name?
Do people do that? Do they just come up and have those random conversations with you?
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be a complete stranger that would suddenly say it.
Oh, thank God for that.
But that would be someone I wouldn't know in a small group of people, maybe, who's just maybe not got great social skills. But, you get what I mean. Weird things happen. Like, people just suddenly look at you and go, what happened to you then? Before you know it, they're asking you really personal questions. Anyway, the point is, it's, you get used to the unexpected. And where to have the Paralympic journey started when I found out there was going to be Olympics in London. When you're in a wheelchair and you like sport, everybody says to you, oh, have you ever thought about going to a Paralympics? As if it's just something you sign up to. Like,
yeah. I see it's down the road, isn't it? It's just in London. I'll pop down to that one this year.
Well, I was naive enough that I thought, all right then, why don't I? I love riding my bike. So I ride what's called a hand bike. It looks like a kind of mobile sunbed on wheels, one wheel at the front, two at the back. You may have seen they've been racing in the last few days in Tokyo. And I just thought, right, I'm going to try and do that. And that was a massive shift of life because I like variety. I like to be, if I'm in my spare time, I like to be outside of mountains. So I'm not really into traveling to industrial estates in Italy to race around a circuit, which is the kind of thing that you end up doing with hand cycling. But there was something about the focus of it and the journey of growth and like, how do you get to be better at something and how can you really dig deep into performance and figure out how to just get really good at something that I'd never had that kind of super focused approach before. So that took me on a 13-year journey from training for the London Paralympics where I won a silver through to the Rio Paralympics where I won a gold. Between all of these, I've been trying to sort of just squeeze in the true me, which is this person that longs to be out in the wilderness, having kind of fairly significant adventures. So just as a snippet of things, I've managed to, in that process, somewhere sit ski across the Greenland ice cap. So very tight fitting ski that you sit in and pole along with your arms. So spent a month doing that. Spent 3 months sea kayaking with a group of incredible people from Vancouver in Canada to Alaska. And at some point I went back to trying climbing again and climbed El Capitan, which became famous for via free solo. Alex Honnold, who free soloed the big overhanging rock face of El Capitan in California without a rope, which I definitely didn't do. But you get the idea, this mixture of adventure and then performance. And I suppose it's always just been driven by this curiosity within me about how you look at people doing something and it's really easy to just dismiss ourselves and think, I can't do that. I could never, whatever arena you're looking at, I couldn't build a business like that. I couldn't win a gold medal. And my fundamental belief is that we all can if we decide we want to apply ourselves and focus and do it. And so I'm passionate about helping other people explore possibility and what they can do for themselves. So that's where Quest 79, which is what next Tuesday is all about, began. It was this fundamental belief that when we challenge ourselves in ways that we wouldn't normally, we always take this, we end up going on this great journey of discovery, or a little hero's journey, if you like, and we find wonderful things out about ourselves. So there's a little I'll just briefly tell the story of 79 and how that's relevant. So I won the 79th medal for Britain in Rio, and it was forgotten because I used to be a gold geologist, but totally forgotten that 79 is the atomic number of gold. And post Rio, there'd been a joke with the team. The cycling team had been joking with me all summer about the number 79 because I had an addiction to a hot drink from a common cafe chain, and one of the baristas has said, if you like it extra hot, ask for it at 79 degrees. So I've become like this diva who was asking for the drinks at 79 degrees. So there was this whole thing with 79 appeared. It was gold, it was the medal, it was the 79th medal for Britain. There'd been a conversation about 79 all of the summer of 2016. And I decided to start Quest 79 and encourage other people to take on some kind of challenge for themselves connected to 79, with the idea that when we do that, we find gold inside of ourselves. We find something out about ourselves that we never maybe knew. We find strength or resilience or possibility within us that we didn't know we had. And so it's just become a community of people that are growing, doing incredible things. And I'm human, so I get exhausted sometimes, or I get ill, or I get a bit demotivated. And I look to some of the people that are joining this community, well, all of them, and they all inspire me in such incredible ways through the kinds of things that they're doing. So there's a few people in the room this morning who are doing quests, but really incredible stuff. I'm going to stop there because don't want to ramble. But any questions? Anything you want to ask?
What a great.
Oh, I've lost you.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us now, Karen?
No.
You're back now.
Can you?
Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
back.
can. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. We went a little bit. We went roguey robot. Oh, Paul's furious.
I see.
Paul got out of the driving seat. Lucien sat down. I'm not saying it's down to Lucien, but you were near the buttons. Did you look at the buttons?
Yeah.
Right, that's the challenge, isn't it?
I
Wow,
peaked.
Karen, what an amazing story. I can't believe that people just randomly come up to you in the street and just start asking you life questions. How random is that? So Quest 79. We'll stick on that because we're going to dive much more into your story in depth next week on the Tuesday. So the Winners Club is actually running this whole day with Karen. So Quest 79, this mission to help people to find their own inner gold, is a quest that Karen's been on recently. And there's people from around the world actually doing these weird and wonderful challenges, all linked to the number 79. So it might be 17, something being done for 79 minutes or 79 hours or 79 days. There's a variety of challenges. There's one person, for example, who's going to be doing 79 open water swims in 79 different Scottish lochs in 79 days and traveling from each loch to go and do it, which
79 hours.
Oh, 79 hours. Oh, wow. Okay. So she's going to be doing it in 79 hours.
Ashley's going to do 79 press-ups.
Ashley's going to do 79 press-ups in 79 days, one a day, keep himself consistent.
Light work.
So tell us more. Some of the best challenges that people have agreed to do as part of Quest 79. Tell us a couple of your favourites, and then we'll chuck it open to everyone to ask you some questions, because I know from people in the back channel that there's loads of people who'd love to ask you a question or two. So yeah, tell us your some of your faves of Quest 79 attendees.
You know, one of my favourites was the very first one, or one of the very first ones. It was a young lad from the Isle of Skye, aged 11, who didn't like mountain climbing, who heard me talking about it on BBC Radio Scotland. Apparently he was driving to school with his mum and dad, and he was like, I want to do that. And by the time the evening came around, he told his mum and dad that he was going to try and climb 79 peaks in 79 weeks. And I just assumed that he'd love to go up mountains because he was like a kid from the Isle of Skye. And it turns out that he really had never done it before, but he looks up at mountains every day. He lives underneath the Coolins, if anyone knows the famous Coolin Ridge of Skye. And he was like, I need to do that. So he began, and his mum and dad didn't like mountain climbing either. I don't say they didn't like it, but they didn't do it. So he got his whole community climbing mountains, his family. He was raising money for a children's charity in Africa, for kids that he just figured had a lot less than him. He wanted to inspire all of his classmates. So I went over to his school and met all of his classmates, and they all wrote letters about all the Quest 79s that they were going to do. And that's kind of spread. There's another school in the northwest of Scotland where all the staff, parents, and a majority of the pupils are all doing their own Quest 79. So really varied, from planting 79 trees, from picking litter up for 79 days, inspired by an amazing woman, Alexia, who's been doing that every day for 79 days. And now I think she just made it a lifetime thing that she's doing. And they've got people at the school, just, everyone's got different interests, haven't they? Or sometimes we lose part of ourselves that we forgot we haven't connected with for a while. So there's parents who have decided to cycle 79 miles, do 79 wild swims, just stuff they haven't done since they were a kid, and reintroduce that adventure to their lives. So it's just having a really positive impact on the community around the village of Gairloch in the Highlands. So those are a few of our favourites, but there's so many. There's someone who wrote 79 random love letters and left them out around the village.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, and actually start as a kind of loitering, so you could see people's expressions and what happened when they picked them up and found this letter that was written to them. And so it's really, really special things. And of course, the wonderful Janetta, who's in the room now, she's just doing amazing stuff with Quest 79, connected to World Jenny's Day and mental health. And there's just such an array. Pete Cohen, legend, Pete ran 79 rooms in Clubhouse for 79 days at 5 a.m., which was just mind-blowing to me. So, I get so inspired by all of the people doing quests, because to me, I think when we're inspired, it's because we see something in someone else that we don't think we've got, and therefore it sparks something in us. So when I see people getting up to run rooms at 5 a.m, that's like, whoa, I just, I can't do that. But of course I could if I decided I needed to or wanted to. But it's just that fuel of inspiration that we give and spread to each other. And that's the vision for Quest 79, is just to help spread these stories, not my story, that's what began it, but everybody's stories and all the wonderful things that people are doing to just spark and spread these waves of positivity and inspiration around the world.
Oh, I absolutely love it. You said there that you know, when we see inspiration, it sparks something inside of ourselves that we don't see in ourselves. Do you see what spark of inspiration you give to other people? Are you comfortable with it? Because I know you're kind of a laid-back, chilled lady, but do you know the level of inspiration that you give to others? Or are you uncomfortable with me even uttering those words?
No, I mean, I've had to get comfortable with it. So I've been really uncomfortable with it for years. And you see pictures of me and I'm like hiding behind things. I've got half a face sticking out, got my hand over my face. Like I'm to me, and this is what's true for all of us, I think, to each of us, we're just ourselves doing what we do. We're just living the life that's hopefully authentic and right for us. But what's so special about that is that that's different from everybody else. And so we do inspire others. And so I see, you know, I do realize now as I've got older and sort of see how I live my life, I see it's pretty different to how a lot of people live their lives. And it's just, I do realize that I've lived probably about 10 lives in one and just have this thirst for adventure. I just can't say no to exciting things where we're going to go on a quest, basically. So I can see how that impacts people. And actually just recently I went on an adventure. I was supposed to be on an adventure pedaling a Williams Formula One handbike on the back of a sailboat with a group of amazing women sailing to Greenland to investigate sort of climate change and meet people in Greenland and make a film about lots of the things that are going on with regard to the environment. And I got ill and ended up in an Icelandic hospital for 2 weeks. But I had a great time. And I realised that, you know, adventure is also, it's just how we choose to look at something. It's like, well, I should have been on a sailboat, but instead I'm watching this amazing volcano erupt on a screen in an Icelandic hospital where there's just beautiful people with beautiful hearts looking after me every day, bringing me kefir to drink for breakfast, and I'm getting to rest because I never rest, and I haven't got any of my toys with me, so I can't distract myself with exercise. You know, I think it's just about reframing everything that happens to us in life through a lens which opens up the possibility for learning something and actually just enjoying where we are rather than wishing we were somewhere else.
Oh, I love it. And where can people go and find out more information? Because I know there's a website and stuff that's coming next week, but there's already there's a landing page there now, isn't there, for people who want to find out about other people's quests, and if people want to pledge a quest, where can people go?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the old website, which is just quest79, QUEST79.com. And that's going to be transferring over to the new one, hopefully today or tomorrow, but certainly in the next couple of days, where it's going to look much more jazzy, thanks to a connection via Clubhouse, actually, Creative Midfield, who offered to come forward and design a wonderful new website for us. So that'll be up soon, and it'll be much easier when the new website's live. People can pledge a quest, you can watch videos to be inspired by other people's quests, see a list of things that people are doing, just generally start to get involved and connected.
Awesome stuff. Right, I'm going to chuck it out to people because I've already had people messaging going, can I ask a question? So Lucienne is sat next to me, so I'm not going to ask her to flash her mic. In fact, would you like to? No, I'm not going to ask her to flash in any way, shape or form, just in case it goes sideways. Right, I knew that Karen would be right up your street on every level.
She is right up my street.
What's your question?
She's amazing. I've got about 7.
Go on, you can do your best.
79 questions.
Should I turn into a bit of a podcast?
Yeah, go on then.
All right.
We're recording anyway. You can just repurpose this. We charge very good studio fees.
Excellent stuff. Karen, good morning. How are you? It's lovely to hear you this morning. Amazing stuff. So, yeah, a few questions. First one, really selfish one. We've obviously been doing a lot of staycations in the UK, and you like being in the wilderness, and so do I. Where in the UK do you love to go? Where's somewhere where we can all just really get into, like, being in the wild in the UK?
Oh, if I told you that, everybody would go there.
This is the secret, the wild swimming secret. No one wants to share their wild swims. Go on, please tell us, please.
So I live in Inverness, which is the gateway to the Highlands. So it's the hub of staycationing when people come to Scotland. And there are obviously hotspots. So the North Coast 500, it used to be, and it still is, one of the most beautiful circuits around the coastline of Scotland. But honestly, it's kind of getting spoiled because there's so many camper vans and people wild camping there. And so that's just true of everything. Places that I go to in winter in Scotland, or the rest of the year round, that are so special, the Cairngorm National Park, just these beautiful landscapes. I live 6 miles from Loch Ness, so I can cycle down to the beach at the end of Loch Ness, have a wee check-in with the monster, and little drink in the pub there. I mean, these are all beautiful places, but I honestly I reckon just encourage people to seek out the places that aren't on the map as much. Like, go and find the quieter places. I know a lot of them, and they're really beautiful. And you just you can still get away from the crowds in Britain if you look for it and go find those places.
Brilliant. And make sure that everyone takes their rubbish with them. And if you do share a secret location, tell them not to tell anybody else, like in a clubhouse room with 200 people.
Exactly.
A bit more of a pertinent question to your experience. And you talked about how you were really positive about that lens of disability after you had the accident and how it opened possibility for you. Were you always like that before the accident? Were you a very positive person, or is that something you had to work on after the accident itself?
Like, I was a teenager really before my accident, so I don't really remember what my frame was, but I definitely was adventurous. Like, I took myself off to the Alps the first time I went climbing in the Alps, and we had a book with how to do crevasse rescue, and me and a few friends went up onto a glacier and like, okay, who's going to volunteer to go down the crevasse, and then we'll figure out how to pull you out. So I guess this adventurous mindset has always been there. I'm not sure. And maybe that needs to come with a certain level of positivity and resilience, because you're just looking for ways to solve problems all the time, aren't you? Which is innately a positive way to approach things. But when I was paralyzed, it certainly wasn't just instantly flicking into positivity at all. I mean, yeah, like, you know, you're 21, you love to be doing stuff. You love to be out there and active, and you have a strong identity with your body at that age. Well, maybe at any age, but certainly suddenly, you know, you're paralyzed from the chest down. You don't have any muscles that function below that. You've got middle age spread before your time. You're looking at a body that's changing shape, going, what is this and who is this? And so it's this process of your identity being stripped away to the absolute bare minimum, and then kind of starting again, really. And it literally felt like starting again. You're starting to learn everything, not just about who you are, and you know, almost like quite Zen questions around that of when your identity is stripped away, you get back to a core, don't you? But also who is important in your life, because your friendships change when things like that happen. I was loving that conversation earlier about friendships and whether they're important, and I was listening with intrigue, because I was thinking, God, I've had so many. I've nearly died 9 times in my life through quite dramatic different circumstances.
Oh my God, 9
we won't go
times.
into. Yeah,
You're like a cat.
Yeah, exactly. So, and each of those times, if I didn't have like friends to support me, to talk to, I would just never have got through it. So it's just really interesting to listen to the earlier conversation on friendship. So
to listen to the most lively and inspirational human being, otherwise known as Paul Apple Crumble. All of his friends.
Different levels of motivation this morning, isn't there? And inspiration.
Definitely.
You got Paul, and then you got Paralympian Karen Dark.
One more question then.
I know
Karen.
who I'd prefer to be friends with, even if she does nearly die every fortnight by the sounds of it. She sounds like a risk.
One more question, Karen, and then I know that there's loads of people who want to ask you questions. So we've obviously got Paralympics on at the moment, and a real spotlight on disability and ability through that as well, ableism, etc. So what shifts have you seen in the last decade with regards to the perception of disability?
Oh, massive. Really, really massive. So I think part of me is still stuck in how it was 10 years ago. So as an example, in next month, I'm going to be doing a challenge I'm an ambassador for the Spinal Injuries Association, the charity, and we've got this weird bike hand pedal contraption. We're going to try and navigate the West Highland Way of Scotland, raising awareness and funds for the charity. I suddenly got drafted in to take part in it, because the guy that was going to be using the chair, the bike thing, is unable to do it. So I'm suddenly last minute in, and I was looking at logistics going, oh, but I've got to get a bus from there to there, and buses, there's no trains, like buses aren't accessible. And I go online, and suddenly there's actually a thing saying, if we've got one wheelchair accessible space on the bus, and you're like, oh my God, I can get on a bus now, or a coach. And people's attitudes, I think post 2012, have radically changed. So I noticed that before the London Paralympics, if I was like, sat on a train or somewhere in public and someone was there with their kids, the kids might be like hiding behind the mum and pointing at you or looking at you, or just no one talks to you. And suddenly it was like, everyone wants to talk to you, especially if you look a little bit sporty. They're like, oh, do you do any sport? What do you do? And they just ask you loads of questions and interact with you much differently. And then I think just the world generally is waking up to the power of diversity, isn't it? And the perspectives that we bring and the importance of having teams that are diverse. And sometimes that's hard for me because our view of ourselves can be really dismissive. We can think we're not worth much or we can't contribute much. And so I think that whole diversity inclusion piece is not just about what the world's showing to us, but also what we're believing about ourselves or taking to the world.
Amazing. Karen, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Over to you, James.
Thanks, Lucienne. But yeah, big show.
Some questions now, James.
Phenomenal. If Lucienne had her way, the next from 7:55 until 9 o'clock would have been the Lucienne and Karen Dark show, and should have nicked it for our podcast. But I think you guys should connect to do a podcast. Have you done one with Karen yet?
No.
Oh, you should.
But I do love what I was in a room where she was talking about this gold element and this, 79 number. And I just love that stuff. And
yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if Susie's here, but I bet she's loving that too. So yeah, Karen, that's a nice little plug. Thanks, James. Karen, if you want to come on my podcast, you are more than welcome.
I've heard it's all right.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Just message me. That'd be great.
That's amazing. Thanks.
Awesome stuff. We will make that happen. Look, there you go. Of my list of shows that I subscribe to.
That's what he said.
I've launched my own competitor show. I don't think Lucienne will like it. Right. In fact, you know what? Let's go to Pete before we ask generalised questions, because I know Pete's actually the reason why the Winners Club's got involved in this, because he's like, Karen's got an amazing message. We need to get it as far and wide as possible. Can we run some sort of mega room together collaboratively on it? So Pete's actually coming down to the studio on Tuesday. We're going to run this mega room. Karen was obviously supposed to be here, but she's so accident prone, and she ended up in an Icelandic hospital. So now she's recovering in Scotland. Even the other day, we had a Zoom call with her, and she was like, I'll dial in for the day. And I could tell, I'm thinking she wants to get down here for the studio, doesn't she? But for health and safety reasons, we're not going to let her in the studio. So Pete, a few words.
Can't Paul get his helicopter?
Paul, for real, can you imagine? She's already died 9 times. Send Paul up to go pick her up in his little microplane. Not a chance. Pete, why did you? How did you find out about Karen in the first place? You told me a great story about how you met Karen for the first time. Why did you want to get involved in Quest 79, and why is it important for people to hear this message of going on their own personal quest?
Okay, I'll try and keep this brief. But first off, thank you. The Winners Club, seriously, because I reached out to you and it didn't take you very long just to say, yeah, we'll do it. And I really appreciate that, because this is bigger than all of us. This is something I think is truly amazing what Karen has done. It's hard when she tells her story, I think, for us to really understand what she has been through. But I heard her speak. We spoke at a speaking engagement. I had no idea who she was, or she didn't know who I was, in Abu Dhabi. And when she told her story, this was maybe 10 years ago, Karen, my mouth was just wide open the whole time. I couldn't believe what I was hearing of this woman who broke her back in a climbing accident and then actually decided to go back and climb again, not being able to actually use her body from her chest down. And Lucienne, when you interview Karen, and hopefully next week you'll all get to understand a little bit about Karen's story. But it's her story. It's what we can take from her story. And that's what Quest 79 is really all about. And I would love it if all of the winners next week, think of something that they could do 79 times, 79 minutes, 17, whatever it is, but something that is a bit challenging. I'm just a big fan, as you all know, anyone who knows me, of quests. I think life is a quest. We're all in the bloody movie business, and we're all actors, directors, producers, we're actors, and we've all come together in this thing called Clubhouse, and we have this opportunity to make our lives and the lives of others better. So when I met Karen, it was like, we've just been really good friends ever since. I think she's one of the most inspirational people I've ever met. I know she doesn't like the limelight, but she knows that her place on this earth is important, and she's already inspired so many people to do so many great things. And the last thing I'm going to say on this is, James, Paul, and Ashley, you better behave yourself for EMC, because I am emceeing the whole 3 days, right? So I think I might have to be pulling you, because I can feel a little bit of mischief in the air.
I don't
know where you're getting that from.
I don't know where you're feeling that or getting that from, Pete.
You are barking up the wrong tree. Will there be C6? I think so.
It's going to be great. But thank you so much for next week. I'm looking forward to coming down and just helping Karen and going all over the world from the different Quest 79ers. So thank you so much.
I'm super excited about it. Thank you, Pete, for asking us to get involved, because genuinely but the more I've looked into this, the more excited I am for it. And I'll try it when someone else is asking the next question. There's a running order of amazing people who are doing amazing stuff, from Girl Guide groups and all the rest of it to sort of big individuals who are doing their own big challenges as well. So really excited to be involved in it. We've got a couple more minutes of Karen's time, because she's supposed to be resting and recovering from her latest near fatality. She's an absolute machine, this woman. So if anyone's got a question or something, David, we'll come to you, my friend.
How are you guys? Hi, Karen. Great room. And
Hello.
You're right. I'm going to have to go up to Scotland with the family and pay you a visit while you're recovering with the 2 kids. My question to you, Karen, is, as you know, I'm doing one of your challenges. How did not many people know this, but how did the Top Trump cards, how did that come about? And you can elaborate on that story if you want.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks, David. And thanks for your cool challenge. And also I just want to add an extra thanks to Pete, because Pete got his whole coaching community involved as well. So loads of questions have come from there, and really cool, diverse things like giving up sugar for 79 days, 79 different fruits and vegetables. So wonderful things. So Top Trumps. So this is a cool story. My brother's friend is the CEO or the owner of a company called Winning Moves, who own a lot of games, family games, and that includes Top Trumps. After I competed in the London Paralympics, I was around at my brother's house, and my 3 nephews suggested we should play family Top Trumps. You know, the card. Hopefully, you all know what I'm talking about, the card game. But if you don't, it's a card game. On each, the pack of cards is sort of themed, and on each card there's a particular, well, I'll explain it in the context of Top Trump. So each card has got a Quest 79ers story on it, and then we've had to give them scores in terms of creativity, days taken, number of people involved. We've added the overall score is the inner gold impact. So it's like, how much did this change someone's life or other people's lives, or in a great way. So this is a great family card game. I'm playing it with my nephews in 2012 post Olympics, and it was the Olympic Top Trumps card pack. And suddenly a card pops up with me on it. So my brother's friend has secretly gone away, made an extra card to sneak into the Olympic card pack that's my own Top Trumps card. It was just such a cool moment, and kind of just great bit of humor. And he came to me last year and said, earlier this year actually, and said, look, we'd love to do a pack of Quest 79 Top Trumps to just help spread the stories around the world, get people engaging with it, playing with it, families connecting with it. And they've offered to print the first 5,000 packs for nothing, so that we can get word out there and sell them or help raise funds for the ongoing work of Quest 79. So they're coming out. The DHL package is arriving with me today, I believe. Oh no, maybe Monday. So I was hoping to get a pack posted down to you guys at the Winners Club for Monday for the studio. Fingers crossed I can courier one down on Monday, and we're going to be playing it on Monday. But yeah, there's loads of the stories that we've touched on, like your own, David. You've got a card, Pete's got a card, which just share some of these really cool stories that have been happening, but in a fun and interactive way, hopefully.
And I just wanted to say thanks very much to Pete, and thank you, Karen, because I can, if I ever die or retire, I can retire a happy man knowing that I'm on a Top Trump card. Life goals achieved right there. Thanks, Karen.
You found your own inner gold there, David. Well done. I've got the list actually of what's coming up on Tuesday. So what we've tried to do is we've tried to, every 30-ish minutes or so, there's going to be somebody else jumping into the live stream to share their own sort of talking about their inner gold or what their quest is. And the idea is going to be there'll be half the conversation is going to be around people who have already gone on their quest, and half the time we're going to try and inspire other people to go on a quest of their own volition and choosing. So whether it be 79 minutes, 79 hours, 79 days, 79 months, 79 years.
I want to do 79 minutes on the treadmill on Tuesday.
Okay.
All right.
Well, while you're tuned in.
Yeah. What time?
I'll do a bike ride, 79 minutes.
We're all here in the studio, so what are you going to do? What should we do? We need to do something.
79 stairs up and down.
Oh, we could do that.
79 flights.
79 steps.
No, 79 flights.
Oh, that's
Anyone
right.
that loves riding a bike, there is if you use Zwift on Tuesday at 5 to 10 in the morning, there's going to be a 79 minutes Quest 79 Zwift bike ride. So there's a growing community of cyclists on that virtual cycling platform.
Yeah,
So
it's like an app. It's like a cycling app.
I could put my Peloton in the car and bring it and put it there.
You might as well, because it's just holding your clothes at the moment, isn't it? So you might as well do something with it. Fine, yeah.
Is it a bike or treadmill?
He's got both. He don't use either.
I'll bring the bike.
Bring the bike. Right. So mute your mic because we're getting feedback. Right. So it starts at 9 o'clock on Tuesday. We're going to have a bit of initial chit chat. 9:30, we've got Leona Burton talking about 9 tips to finding your inner gold as a female entrepreneur. Then we've got Janetta Barry from Kenya, who is how 79 brought together World Jenny's Day. 10 a.m. we've got the Sacred Way Quest 79 ride. The Sacred Way, the Quest 79 ride following the River Ganges across India. We've got 79 hours of continuous exercise being talked about, 79 dips in 79 locks in 79 hours, 79 days no alcohol, and 79 days of triathlon training. We've got a hypnotherapy workshop in Australia. We've got how yoga can help to clear your emotions. We've got 9 burpees for 79 days, 79 sugar-free, 79 days sugar-free, 79 less. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. For every hour that we're broadcasting, I'll do 79 burpees per hour. Just at the top of the hour, just do 79 burpees.
79 burpees.
Yeah, just for a crack.
79 burpees.
Yeah,
Full
per
burpees.
hour.
Full burpees.
No, this is James Burt 2.0.
You ain't going to do 79 burpees.
79 burpees per hour.
79
per hour.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, you're.
Hang on a second. Let me just clarify.
What's a burpees?
A burpee. So I'm counting this. Sorry.
Hang on. Go on.
So I count that.
That in a no.
What,
Well,
with
yeah,
the
a
push-up?
jump.
With the push-up.
So 79 in one. Okay.
I
Okay.
So one of the best things about being
79.
Challenge extended. Don't mess with me. Bring me loads of croissants.
Do you want to bring a few change your clothes as well?
I think I will.
There's no showering.
I've done 3 test ones. I'm knackered. Karen, what have you made me do? You're motivating wizards. Yeah. So I'm going to do 79 burpees per hour for every hour that we're on.
I'm going to do 79 minutes on 7.9 incline at 7.9 speed on treadmill.
That's fast.
All right.
Paul's going to have a 79
That's
minute
fast.
coaching.
Your calves.
Oh, no.
You know what? That's a
And I'll film it.
79 coffees.
Yeah,
And cookies.
Paul have 79
79
coffees,
cookies.
79 cookies over 79 days.
He'll be shaking. He'll be shaking.
79 minutes. 79 minutes. One a minute.
No more cookies.
Paul's challenge needs to be 79 minutes of being coached by.
Yeah.
Pete, better bring some coffee.
What are you doing?
Dunno.
Lady Chuckles over there, dishing out.
Chuckles, I love that. What do you want me to do? 79 off?
But come and do the burpees.
Can I think of something
Yeah, go
by
on.
the end of the show?
79 burpees. You can come
Be
and do it.
nice, though.
Of course I will. Listen,
It can be challenging, but be nice.
Come in. Where are you Tuesday?
no
Come into
way.
the studio. 79 burpees with me. Oh, she's having it.
79 burpees, James.
You're not committed to your goals. That's fine.
79 minutes.
That's fine.
So it's 79 minutes of silence.
That's easy.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, we're going to
Could
do
you
breakfast
do-
with winners.
Could you
Oh, I
do
can't.
79
No.
minutes?
No.
79 shows of not going first after the first flash of mics.
We don't
you go.
want that.
No. We heavily rely on.
Yeah.
Especially on the
It
quiet
gets the
days. I can't. Oh my
algorithm
God, I
going.
don't know
I'll
if
tell you what, folks, in the app, give some suggestions for
Ah,
what I should
yes. And me,
She's a pro.
and
She's a pro,
we've
guys.
got to pick it. And we've got to pick the
Oh
suggestions.
my God,
Oh,
please
yes.
be nice, folks. Be
Guys, get
nice.
onto the app.
I've been working on this lot about being nice to me for a long time. So if we could just keep
Lucia,
that
could you put a
trail
post in
going.
there?
She sent a message
What
last
should
week
I-
asking me to be professional. I was
Please
like,
be more professional.
What,
James.
I'm gonna ban you
put
to
in that
bits.
app? Put that in the app. What should I do for Quest 79?
I'll do
Yeah,
that.
and then people can comment underneath.
I will do that right now.
Please,
And if-
guys.
And if you're part of the Winners Club, if you've got the app, or if you haven't gone and got the app, I'm so excited, I've got a stutter. I'm going to stutter for 79 days. Get the app. So go onto the Apple App Store or go onto Google Play, download the Winners Club Companion app. It's a free app. There's a community. There's a premium version, but if you just want to be a tight ass, you can just have the free one. Don't worry about it. So yeah, go on there, and on there there's a community feed, which is almost like a news feed. Put on what your Quest 79 challenge is going to be if you're part of this community, and we'll get people on the day sharing theirs as well.
Do you think if I bought my Peloton and collected
I can't hear. I can't hear. I can't hear.
Easy.
Oh, easy.
You could do it on your own.
That's
You
easy.
collective.
79 miles.
Should you sit on your own?
Easy.
Each. You should do it in your each.
Should we have? Oh, hang on.
No.
Well, I can't get on the bike because I'm too busy doing burpees now.
I think Karen should decide.
I
for
can't.
you.
I've got to orchestrate and make sure you two do it. So
That's true. Well, you could send your minions, couldn't you? You could all of your team of staff. You can make them do something, couldn't you? Your PAs, your
Ashley
your
could learn
VAs, your
79
EAs.
new words.
Let's not get crazy. Shashlik.
How do you do that?
Shashlik.
How do you learn 79 new words?
Shashlik.
No, so say
She's a teacher.
Actually, say.
Ask him to spell something.
Shh. Oh, that's cool.
Spelling 79 new words, and we could choose the words that he has to learn.
Be like spelling bee.
He's actually
He's not a 5-year-old child. I know he's the height of one, but he's not a 5-year-old child.
I'm gonna say now, Ashley's actually really clever, despite
Actually, no,
popular opinion. He's really bright. He's super bright.
All right, so go on to the app and get your challenges.
And you have to do it on that Tuesday. So I can
Yeah.
do the bike grab Monday evening.
No, let's try and as much as possible. Let's get people doing
in
challenges.
24 hours of Tuesday, or is it?
Let's try and do it within the 9 till 7.
Okay, I'll
of
do my
that room.
I'll definitely do my treadmill.
Yeah.
79.
We're going to do breakfast with winners as well that morning as well, so we can make that part of
I
it.
could whack my bike in the back of the car and
Poor
I'll just go for a
Karen.
drive around the city.
Poor
Drive around the
Karen,
city.
folks. She's having to listen to us like banging on. She's a guest speaker. We're like,
I'm loving the creativity. And hearing the
good.
process
Just wanted to
of how you
check
come
in
up
with
with
you
the
because it can get a little bit tedious.
Sorry, Lucian gets like
Karen,
this when she thinks you're her friend because she wants you to come on her podcast. Now. So she's got a bit about you. She's taking ownership of Karen. She's not your friend. She's mine. She's definitely not Paul's because Paul doesn't like friends, but she can be my friend.
Karen, what's the most creative 79er you've heard of?
the most creative. Well, I think it was the guy, Adam, who was really cool, and he started doing the 79 love letters, and then he just got really into it. So he ended up then doing 79 days without sugar. He did 79 burpees every day. He there's another one he did. He's on a whole festival of quests, so he's got a top trumps card as well.
Oh, brilliant.
But yeah,
so good.
Couldn't do 79 days without sugar. Could you? That would be
I don't.
horrendous.
You could do anything you put your mind to, couldn't you? Come on, coach yourself here.
79 days.
How do you have
without
your sugar? What do you mean? Like,
Sugar's in everything.
I know, but you could.
Not in Beiju's Bargies. Go to beijusbargies.com/no sugar. I'm going to find the URL and put up a website.
I had a friend who did it.
I'm going to bring next time I'm here. I'm going to bring some Indian goodies.
Tuesday, I'm going to need it. I need a refuel.
Tuesday, I'm doing 79 minutes.
I had a friend who did a detox of sugar, and honestly, he said he wanted to like lick vending machines. He was like, absolutely.
It's the work, it coming out your system.
Yeah,
is like
it's
the worst.
horrendous.
Yeah, it's like a proper cut. It's like getting off
It's worse
drugs.
than heroin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mate done it. He said the migraines he got.
How do you know it's worse than heroin?
Oh, you know. Back in the
I
day.
used to have 3 heroines in my tea, and
Back
now
in the day.
back in the day, Lucien.
Yeah.
Right, I can't, sorry, that was inappropriate, unprofessional banter. Sorry, let me. That was. If I've said something that doesn't align with the level of professionalism that Lucien is after, you hear this noise. And if I go really too far, you hear this noise, which on my screen is called a rim shot, but we're not going to talk about that because that's not professional. Okay, so
go back to the heroin.
right, so David's on next week as well. I've just seen it in the afternoon. So David is on at 4:00, 79 minutes of magic tricks. I'm really looking forward to this.
Is there a gap there, or is it just you can do whenever? And I'll do
So
it
you
first?
could do whenever. So we're going to be live from 9 till 7 here in the Winners Club, and we'll have people doing quests. If it works out, time wise, we'll get people in sharing what they've done.
So next Tuesday, 7th. What time?
Oh, here he goes. He's time blocking his diary out.
Yeah,
Flippity flip. Do your own admin off mic. Go on, Karen.
Do it around.
Yeah, can I just add a bit of extra context to Tuesday? Because one of the most creative quests is what's led to Tuesday even happening.
Oh, go on.
So in a room in Clubhouse, I met Rachel Earring, and she's pledged to do a quest. She's like, I'm an energy healer. I'm going to do 79 energy healings in 79 hours with 79 people. I was like, that's brilliant. And we ended up having a chat on WhatsApp. And at the end of the conversation, I said, hey, your accent's really familiar. Where are you from? Anyway, long story, but it turns out that through Clubhouse, we realized that we'd known each other as kids. We'd been at family parties at my auntie's house, right from being like really tiny through to sort of teenagers. Our mum and dad lived in the same house in this little tiny village in Lancashire. Her mum and dad moved into it after my mum and dad. They built a fireplace together. So, and they also drank together in the club in the village. So her dad's dead. Our parents drank together in the club. They shared the house. Her and I reconnected in Clubhouse. She did that quest for energy healing. And now she then decided it was so amazing that she wanted to go on and get 79 people from around the world who were going to run workshops to do with health and healing and well-being on the 7th of the 9th. So that's how this Tuesday coming kind of began. So amongst all of the quests that we'll be hearing about on Tuesday, there's this whole big day going on around the world that's been coordinated by Rachel, where there's people running 70, we're calling them inner gold guides. So 79 inner gold guides around the world running mostly live events in their countries with people doing different kinds of things. So we'll be hearing from quite a few of them as well. So that's
that is amazing. Inner gold guides. How cool is that as well? Fantastic. Right. We're going to give one more person. If you've got a question that you'd love to ask to Karen, because I know she's a supremely motivational, inspirational lady. And if you'd like to ask her a question, please feel free to flash your mic. We'll do one more quick question because I know that she's got to get back to resting and recuperating. Are there any flashes of the mics? Has anyone been inspired, by the way, on stage? If you have been, to do your own quest on Tuesday, if he has, go on, Iffy, what's going to be yours?
Well, I've been thinking about it. I thought, I'm going to sit on Clubhouse for 79 minutes. I thought, no, that'll be naff.
You do that every morning. That's the worst quest of all time.
No, but because I was thinking, what can I do? But actually, I thought I'm going to do 79 sit-ups every day. And then I thought, do I want to do
every
it?
Day,
and I decided not to share. Yeah, like 79 sit-ups for 79 days.
Wow. Okay. As
I'm saying it, I'm thinking.
If you're saying that, you've got to message me every single day. I've done it.
And tag the Winners Club in every single morning.
You can't just
for
say
79 days.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Hey, she's doing it, everybody.
Right. Do you know what the last date? I tell you what, 49.
She's going to be having a 6-pack coming off.
She's going to be ripped. She's going to be tonk. If he's going to be coming down to the studio, like,
this is what I'm saying.
I reckon she's already got.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be solid.
Yeah.
If you're doing it, but can I ask anyone that's going to do a quest a big favor? Because big part of this is how we let other people know what we're doing and how we spread that inspiration. So if you can pledge your quest on the Quest 79 website, quest79.com, so we could let people know what's happening, or follow the social media channels and share pictures of you doing it and stories, because that's the only way that what you're doing is going to spread that spark to other people and let them know and inspire them to do stuff too. So that'd be great.
If he's 79 days,
absolutely.
If he's 79 days, November the 13th. That's the 79th day from today.
Okay, when do I start?
Today.
Oh,
you want to start on Tuesday? Do you want to start on Tuesday? If you start on Tuesday, then hang on. Work it out. Carry on talking. I'll work it out.
Yeah. So let's as many challenges as we can. Let's all start Tuesday. Let's do it together. Everyone's doing like 79 or something per day. Have I just gone in too strong with I'll do 79 burpees per hour for every hour that we're doing?
You ain't gonna do it.
I know I can't do back.
I thought you could do something for 79 on that day.
No.
Yes, you can do it.
Thank you very much. Do you know what, Effie? I'm going to look at my kid's star that you lovingly sent me the other day, and I'm going to go, I can do anything. I am a winner. I can do my... Oh, here you go. Lucienne's put her picture on the app. So if you'd like to suggest a challenge for Lucienne, if you love Lucienne and you've thought that she's added value for the last 7 months on Clubhouse, especially in the Winners Club, then you can give her a nice challenge. If you she gets on my flipping nerves, let's do something savage.
We have a code of conduct, so please, guys,
keep it professional, guys.
No. You've got the power to write what you want on the challenge.
You're loving it.
This is so
brilliant.
good.
Like guys, like please, let's get a hard one for Lucienne.
Oh dear.
This is going to be so good. Oh, I love this. Karen, what an amazing thing that you've created, and what an amazing support you've had from Rachel to coordinate all this. And I know how much work has gone in behind the scenes. And I just from the sort of the small amount of conversations that we've had, there's, multiple meetings and logistics, and there's people around the world who are doing these quests. So that's amazing. Who else was flashing that I think Rihanna was flashing that she was going to do a quest. Have you committed to a quest? What are you going to do?
So I thought we only had to do it on Tuesday.
Okay, you could do it on Tuesday.
Okay, great. So I'm going to do 79 minutes of solid running on Tuesday.
Oh, 79 minutes of running. Love it. 79 sit-ups for 79 days for Iffy. Has anyone else been inspired to do a challenge who's on the stage right now? Let's find out. Susan. Susan is going to manifest 79 beautiful unicorns into the mind of 79 people. I'll tell you what you should do, Susan. You should make Ashley Shipman do 79 minutes of mindful meditation.
That's exactly, James, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Right, sit down. She's talking. He hasn't got his headphones on. Put your headphones on. Go on. What are you going
Okay, that's exactly what I was going to say. I will do a live 79-minute meditation, but I want Paul to do it.
I love it. Right.
But there's doing like things that are hard, and then there's doing things that are impossible. Like, just to let you know, we me and James.
Do you know what you could do,
drag it into him.
Susan? You could run a room for 79 minutes doing meditation, so then people can join that.
And we'd have no way of knowing if Paul was actually meditating, because he'd probably just be sitting there strategizing. No, I don't think.
Looking at tech, looking at
his
stats.
mind would just be planning the next.
That is my meditation. Electronics are my meditation. I don't have friends. I have gadgets.
The thing is, right? You're
I may not be in the room.
You think you're laughing, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Oh, stop snipering people. Have a day off, for God's sake. You can have a croissant. What's up with you? Right, Susan, where are you?
I can be mindful when I need to be mindful.
Oh, here we go.
Well,
that's not mindful.
He's not. Guys, just to let you know, he's not in the room, and this is yeah.
He's not in the room, but he's always.
Isn't it?
in the
Like
room.
Big brother, I can hear you.
How many?
Say that. I can hear you.
Well, you forget you're in my castle here.
Oh, that song came to mind. That song. What's that song?
King of the Castle.
My theories of I'm going to sing that song 79 times. No, I'm not. Okay, so Susan's going to do 79 minutes. I love that. That's going to be brilliant. Can you run it as like a
run it as a room?
Run it as a room on Tuesday as well, and then we can check in with you and let you know how it's going.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, for sure. If Paul was local, because I could do a 79-minute mindful massage. I feel like Paul needs something physical rather than just mindful. Paul, do you have massages?
He doesn't like being touched.
He's not going to let you touch him. I'm sure.
No, not really. Very, very rarely. Very, very rarely.
Oh, well. Hands up. I go for massages all the time. Nah.
Self-care.
Special
occasions.
And you have a Thai curry.
I go for a massage and a haircut every week.
Do you?
Every week?
Yeah. When have you ever seen my hair long? Like literally, it's like I love.
No, it's not the haircut I'm worried about. You have a massage and a haircut every week.
What kind of massage?
And a sunbed.
And
right, that stops now because that is so dangerous for you. I did a campaign with the British Skincare Foundation.
You know, sunbed every
Just
put it
get
up
fake
month.
tan. Just get fake tan. What's the matter with you?
No, but I do it. I do it, and I probably buy a new top or just something.
Yeah, but what
make myself feel good.
Sorry, can we just get back on track here, guys? We talk about Amazing Quest, and now we've just sort of gone off down a rabbit hole of Ashley Shipman's self-care routine, which, by the way, sounds #amazeballs. We'll come back to that. Talk about that another day. Right, if you're on the stage, if you've decided, I sound like one of Paul's robots. If you decided that you are going to do a challenge, flash your mic and let us know what challenge you're going to do. Maybe you're going to do it on Tuesday. Maybe you're going to start it on Tuesday. Maybe it's going to start and end on Tuesday. Maybe you'll go, oh, Lauren, what are you going to do?
I'm going to walk for 79 minutes for 79 days.
Oh, I love it.
That's great.
You're going to start on Tuesday. Beiju's
I'll
working
start
out
on Tuesday.
Yeah, Beiju's working out the calendar requirements so you can check in with us every day.
Well, surely, if today was the 13th of November, if you just kind of add 4 days, it's
No,
going
it
to
wasn't.
the 13th
It wasn't.
of November.
It wasn't. I'll tell you right now. Hang on.
All right, Carol Vorderman. All right, Carol Vorderman. I'll have one from the top and 5 small numbers, please.
I love that though. 79 minutes of walking for 79 days. That would be easy for you, Beiju. You do that all the time.
I do that in sleep.
I could jump in with a couple of extra ideas that might just.
Oh yes, go on, Karen.
Yes, please.
Make it
I
tougher.
really liked. So, lovely lady Lynn Joyner, she was listening to something like this in one of the quest streams one day and was like, I can't take anything else on. Like, my life's really full at the minute. I've got a lot of stress. So she took a note out of Ashley's thing there and went for 79 days of self-care. So a bath, a massage, a bit of time lying in the sun or just sitting in nature, just doing something for herself every day just to kind of help deep down regulate and look after herself. So I thought that was a nice one because it doesn't always have to be a massive mission.
It's the 25th of November.
Not for you. Not for Lucy.
And there was one of the most creative ones is someone that decided that we're going to run their first marathon, but they would only run it when they got 79 people to donate blood because there was a child in the family who needed blood transfusions. And so he ended up with 79 photos of people hooked up donating blood. And when he got them all, he ran his first marathon. Cool, huh?
Oh, that's amazing. I love that because that then has also had an impact not only on the person doing the challenge, but on everybody else as well. So that's 79 pints of goodness, isn't it, really?
Right.
Should you donate a pint?
79 days.
A pint? I think it is a pint.
79 days from the 7th of September is the 24th of November.
Okay.
What else have you got, Karen? What other things?
What other terrible ones have you got for Lucienne?
What other good ones have you got for Lucienne?
Well, you know what?
Book your podcast within 79 days.
There we go.
The other day was funny. The owner of Top Trumps, who's decided to do his own quest right now. So he's decided to run 5K every day for 9 days. So it's day 30, and I get a message going, I'm injured. I can't move. What do I do? Like, how are other questers doing it if it's something physical? So that bit of looking after yourself is really important. So I just messaged him back. I'm like, look, massage, stretching, it's all really important if you're going to do something physical. So later in the day, I get a message through saying, run 31, tick. And he'd basically gone for a massage, got all of his muscles freed up and no bother. But what I've realized is that, you know, I know so much about physical care and physical training because I've done it for so long for the Paralympics, but people start physical quests and they don't know how to look after themselves. They've got no idea what they should be doing to kind of balance out all that physical input. So yeah, just a reminder there, if anyone's going to, with you, James, 79 burpees every hour. I'm thinking we need to get you a massage every hour that day as well.
Oh, this is getting better and better. Suze, what's your diary like Tuesday? Clear it. I need a masseuse. Bring your table. We've got Paul's probably got a table here we can use. I'll just go on the skanky old floor. That's where I'll be hanging out most of the time anyway if I'm doing 79 of these. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be great.
Can I just interrupt and ask a question very, very quickly, please?
Who's this? Is that Lauren?
It's Lauren. She just sounded slightly different then.
She's already out walking. She's out
I am.
warming the cars
I'm out
up.
walking.
Go on. What's your question, Lauren?
Why don't we have like a 79-day winners bingo? You know where you've got the sheets where you cross off one thing a day? They're usually for 30 days, but you could do one for 79 days, and everyone in winners has to do one every day for 79 days.
Oh, I like that. That's a good idea, isn't it? I think the thing here, though, Lauren, is that everyone's inner goal has to be real to them. So, for example, Ashley doing mindfulness for 10 minutes or 79 or 7.9 minutes would be a big challenge. Whereas when we make Lucienne,
7.9
when we do Lucienne, who's going to, I can't believe she's actually looking at it on the screen right now. Tough Mudder, 79 Tough Mudder challenges over the next 79 days.
I've done loads of Tough Mudders.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I didn't think you were capable of it, but
I used to be really quite sporty.
did you? Yeah, but yeah. Did you play hockey?
Snowboarding. Love a bit of snowboarding.
Oh, do you?
I get the hockey comment.
Yeah.
Hockey sticks.
Yeah.
I'm not a hockey sticks.
I got banned from hockey, so.
Of course you did.
I was a 200-meter sprinter.
Were you any good?
County level.
Oh, you were quite good then.
Yeah, and a discus thrower.
Okay.
Yeah, but I loved a bit of snowboarding.
Mrs. Trunchbull.
Yeah, Mrs. Trunchbull. That's me. That's gone too far. That's
unprofessional.
Thumb down.
Okay, thumb down.
Not professional, guys. Not professional. Awesome. Right. So, guys, go on to, and as Karen mentioned, the best way to support this is go on to quest79.com. So Quest, QUEST 79.com, and pledge what your quest is going to be, because the more people we can get sharing it out and hearing about this amazing message, the better. I know there's loads of people working behind the scenes to make it happen and to do press and all that kind of good stuff. Beju just put a post onto the app, which is what the 79 days. Yeah, brilliant. So alternative time units as well. That's brilliant. Yeah. So go on to the Winners Club app. If you haven't yet got it, go to iTunes, or you can go to Google Play, and you can either tell us what your pledge is going to be there as well, but make sure you go and do it on quest79.com. And there's also basically just put a post up there about what 79 days is, or the alternative units like minutes, seconds, etc.
Right, guys, the Lucienne picture is now on the app wall. Please, do me a favor and just suggest some things that she could be doing. The picture is now up. It's probably the top picture on the app feed.
Should we pin it? Should we make
This
it the
might
pinned
be
post?
I'm actually going to pin the post. So what that means is it's going to stay at the top every time. So
You're gonna be really upset when everyone's just really nice to me, aren't you? You're gonna be shocked. This is like
Don't do that.
opinion poll.
Don't
This
do
is
that.
an opinion poll of Lucienne Shakir. Like, who actually likes Lucienne and who doesn't? Who's in with the
we won't
bants?
ask that question. We just asked for the question.
Who's in with the bants and who isn't? Who's prepared to push the line and who isn't? I'm just saying.
Hear what she's doing here. She's framing it. She's framing it.
framing
For
it.
all of those
I'm
people are
making
going.
sure.
Yeah, she's framing it.
Oh, please be nice. I really want you to be nice.
Well, we will see. We will see. Okay, Karen, is there anything else you want us to know, or anything else we can do, or anything else in any other ways that we can support before we wrap up our chat with you? Because I know you've got other stuff to get on with. You can't just listen to this waffle and nonsense all day. Anything else we can do ahead of Tuesday's big kickoff at 9 a.m. here in the Winners Club?
Well, I'm loving how you've made Lucienne the Winners Club crash test dummy for questions.
We're always happy to send out Lucienne as our test case.
I would just love to say a massive thank you to all of you. Like, really, the only way we can get this out is through things like this. So just super grateful to all of you at the Winners Club and everybody's listening, and anyone that wants to join in. Be really great if you can talk about it, join in, pledge a quest, and just spread the word. And yeah, we all need adventure. We all need new horizons. We can all get stuck in about, like, for all that I've got an adventurous spirit. I realized earlier this year that I've been pedaling my hand bike in circles for 14 years, and that's like narrowed my life down to a point where it was time to get out of that rut and do something different. So we all need that at times, and I think Quest 79 is a way that we can really mix things up and shake things up and discover new things, find some inner gold. So massive thanks to all of you. Please join in on Tuesday if you can, and go and pledge a quest. The new site should be live by Friday, so that'll be looking much more jazzy than the old one that's there now. And massive thank you to all of you.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Karen, for being the inspiration and the motivation behind it. Mods and speakers, if you're on the stage right now, give us a flash of the mics in support of Karen and the amazing day that she's created with Quest 79. I can't wait to see what some of the quests are going to be. This is going to be fantastic.
Well, there's already a request for Lucienne to run 79 minutes with Rihanna.
Yeah, more than miles. Yeah, Rihanna's doing 79.
Yeah, so guys,
I've got a good one for Lucienne. So if anyone's going to be doing a 79-day challenge, Lucienne has to take someone else's challenge on each day. So she could do the walking one day, she could do the massage one day, she could do another running one. She could do. This is so good. By the way, you're not forced to do any of this. Everything in life is a choice, isn't it?
Yes.
Lucienne, this is the 24th of November. Up to the 24th of November.
So you got a whole month to recover after Christmas.
But remember, you want to on your podcast.
Remember, weekends as well.
Yeah.
79 days to 24th of November.
That's
when you put
weekends, right? It's a long time.
It is a long time. But I'm so
Well, can't you do 79 miles? Can I do like a 79 mile bike ride a week?
I'm just doing 79 minutes on one day, 7.9 incline, 7.9 speed.
Because Beju knows how to set and exit a target. He's sniping himself. To be fair, 7.9 incline at 7.9, that's a chore. That 8 to 10K is that horrible running speed, but you're not going fast enough to really get running. You're sort of like, it's not walking, but it's that horrible.
Shin splints are going to be coming out in front of you.
I will video it so you know.
Yeah, this is awesome. Oh, I love this. This is so cool. I love a challenge. I don't know why I'm adding more and more challenges. Maybe I've got to that point in my life that Karen mentioned. Maybe I am going in my own metaphorical circle, and therefore I need to find my inner gold.
I would like Lucienne Iffy. What's this about?
I love you.
Go on.
I
would
so much.
like Lucienne to have 79 minutes of me time.
Iffy, I love you.
Shut up, Iffy.
I love you. I love you.
Delete that comment, block her.
I love
Delete
you.
and block.
She's messaging Iffy. Please put this on there.
Iffy's comment.
But this is the problem that we've got now, because Lucienne's become a little bit too powerful in this community, hasn't she? That
You need to bring me down.
She's got a following, hasn't she? So now she
bring me
can
down.
frame it going, I hope everyone's going to be nice, and all of like the people in her membership are like, well, she knows what she's doing. We better be nice to her.
No, but honestly, can I just put a serious lens on this for a second?
Yeah, please do.
I would like to be challenged. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Is that what you were going to press?
No, I was just
Which one were you going to press?
I was just checking that, but I was just going to do that one. Captain Kirk's in the studio. She's supposed to be here at 6:30. It's now 8:45, but better late than never.
Hey.
Go on then. What's your challenge?
I would honestly, I would like to In respect of Karen and what she's doing, I want to do something that challenges me, but just be nice, folks. It can be challenging,
but also realistic. How are you gonna do
realistic,
something
yeah.
And honestly, to try 79 days, by the time you get sort of end of September, like that, you know, so something on the day.
Yeah.
It's achievable. Remember, we're serving a purpose here for Quest 79, so raising awareness.
Yeah.
More things to do with it. Georgia.
Hi. I need to come and give you a cuddle.
Where the hell have you been? We've been worried sick here.
M25.
Literally stuck on the M25.
Yeah,
for about 2 hours.
Oh no!
I know. Matt Wilson just sent me a laughing face on a message saying, "Well, I normally leave at 5:30 to get there." I was like, "All right, okay."
Thanks for the advice. 2 hours too late, idiot.
What time did you leave?
6:30. I know.
Oh, bless you.
Well, do you know what though? Worth it. It's so good to see you all.
Have you been listening in?
No.
What?
You don't know what's going on?
For God's sake, we've just had Paralympian legend Karen. Can you two do your welcomes outside? This has got ridiculous. Look at Paul. He's like, look at all these friendships in here. I don't like it at all. I don't like the touching and the dexterity, quite frankly. No, the tactileness. Get out of here. Right. So we've been talking this morning about endurance and resilience. We're talking. Oh, in fact, you could just jump in here. So what would you like Lucienne to do for 79 hours starting from Tuesday at 9 a.m?
Okay, so I did catch a little bit of this.
Okay.
So, like, what's on the table here? What's off the table?
Everything is on the table. Nothing is off it.
There's some exercise-related stuff going on.
You're a bit of an extreme explorer, and you do mad challenges and stuff, don't you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I quite appreciate an endurance challenge. So
Yeah,
it's
I
just
do.
79 hours non-stop.
Yeah, non-stop.
79 of anything.
79
or
of
something.
anything. It could
I'm
be
doing
79
minutes on
different
treadmill.
chocolates
No,
to
can't
try.
be that.
It could be 79
Paul's doing
spas
79
to go
cookies.
to, 79 books to read. It could be
79-minute nap.
Yeah.
I don't feel like being that nice. Though,
Yes,
after my 2 hour
Captain
trip.
I knew it. I
Come
knew
on,
it. I
come on.
knew it.
Yeah, we're gonna.
She wants me to write a book, and I'm putting it on hold.
Oh my God, well, that's a great idea. 79
No.
minutes of non-stop writing. I'll give you a
Or-
writing exercise and 79 minutes of some kind of writing, brainstorming related thing. That will just free the creative spirit.
Yeah, good idea. 79 minutes of this writing exercise whilst you run
never
over
ever-
hot
do you know,
coals.
Lucian, Lucian, I've never
Don't
ever
shovel it.
seen you refuse something so adamantly.
I know.
Ever.
It's a lot of work, right?
What, 79 minutes of writing?
That's like an hour and
You could talk it
We
in.
all know about
Hour and 19 minutes. Good maths.
Otter it.
Write a book. Anyone can write.
Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Have you read it?
I've read it. It's very good.
I have read it. It is very good.
I've not read it yet.
I finished it
I
last
will
week.
now after these reviews.
It is very good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. So has anyone else got a challenge they'd like to share, or are we going to speak now or forever hold your peace? I can hear someone.
I
with the
just
microphone.
want to encourage Lucienne, because we have had a couple of people do quests where they've decided to write every day for like 15 minutes a
Her
day.
eyes are rolled right to the back of her head.
15 minutes.
Karen,
Usually
if you saw
15 minutes
Lucian's
turns into
face right
half an
now.
hour.
Karen, I think that's a great encouragement. So I
She
think the
would
fact that
rather do
Lucienne
much
is
that.
refusing this much is the sign that it needs.
Yeah.
I had Rihanna
And then
last
the book's
week
done.
buy me a journal, which is
500
lovely.
words each day for 79 days, your book is done. 500 words times 79. Let's have a look at that. 500
I'm actually having
35,000
times 79 is 39,000 words, 500.
Yeah.
Perfect, isn't it?
That's absolutely
How many do
perfect.
you
High
need?
five. Yeah,
Yeah.
40,000.
Yeah, sort of 35 to
500
40,000
words
is like the minimum.
every day, 79 days, your book is done. Then you hand it to Georgia and the magic will happen.
I'm having palpitations.
John.
That's actually amazing, honestly.
A quest is supposed to be hard, right?
Yeah, it is. You're right. You're
I'll tell you
right.
what we'll do, though. To get you started, we'll do the planning together first. How does that sound?
Oh, I love you.
As you run over hot coals for 79 minutes.
You've got by Tuesday.
Can somebody make this a bit more painful for Lucia? Why are we all being nice? Like,
No, James, this is
we're going
really
to challenge you to
painful.
write a best-selling book.
30,
Hang on a second.
39,
No.
500.
This is painful for me. This is
Okay.
500 words is about
And you
an
have to
hour.
start it and end it with 79 burpees. There has to be some sweat here, guys. I'm not letting her get off the hook.
You can't put. The thing is, I've never seen you like this, Lucian.
I know. Yeah. I'm quite emotional.
I've never
I'll
seen
do it.
you.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
We do it.
I'll do it.
I'll. If you
While
want me,
running over
I'll
hot
be the
coals.
honour of your accountability just on this thing, nothing else.
That would be
All right.
awful,
I'll be
but amazing.
I'll be your accountability partner just on this project.
We don't need another hero. Write your book.
Let's take friends.
Oh,
Is that, oh, there he goes.
Paul's
Somebody
gonna
get a
just-
photo. Paul has chosen to touch another human
I've got
being.
a story this.
Oh, yes, that's what we're talking about. There's a little, look how awkward he was about doing that
For
stuff.
those of you who aren't in the studio,
That's lovely.
everyone has pulled out their phone and is taking a picture of this momentous occasion.
It's a story. Check my story out, guys. It's actually kissing Paul.
It's a beautiful, beautiful moment. It really was. Right, so we've got 10 minutes left of the show. Thanks for turning up. Literally might as well have turned around. No, but we've got a very serious meeting. It's going to be very professional. After, because Lucian asked for it to be professional. That sound is called rim shot. I'm just going to leave that there. Right. Who else has got something they'd like to share about endurance and? Oh, actually, if Karen's still there, so I knew that I said we were going to let Karen go in a minute. But I've got a thing. Karen, you mentioned who's got the phone on like really loud.
Is it still me? Sorry, but I thought.
Oh, sorry, I was only shouting because I thought it was actually Shimon. I'll take that back, Captain Kirk. Sorry.
If he was here on time, we would have given you a briefing.
I know. It's all my fault.
Have you
Where did you
ever
drive
had,
in from?
Have you ever had
Gravesend.
two women in the seat?
Oh God, she's gonna like. Is this like a? Is this like a?
This is good. This is a moment.
This is not a moment. It's just two nice people in the seat. Don't turn it into something that is not.
James Ashley.
Oh.
She worked out the button and pressed it.
Yeah.
I did.
Did you have authorization to press that by
Don't
Paul's
need it.
robots?
Don't need it.
You should have signed an automatic form that should have
I
got
think
sent
this
out
is
to
a
you in the
moment.
post.
Everyone flash your mics if you think this is a moment. We've got
Here she
Captain
goes.
Kirk
Here she goes.
and Lucy and Shaq here in the driving seat. There you go. Got someone flashing. Someone's flashing. Who is it?
Is it iffy? Of
I
course
don't
it's
touch
iffy.
my phone because I think it's going to mess up all the amazing equipment that I don't understand.
Right, sorry, I was going to ask Karen. So you mentioned that you realised that you've been pushing around in a circle for 14 years. What's it like? Because we've been talking this more about endurance and resilience, but then we talked about that point where you have to step out to do something different. Because if you've always done what if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. So how, when you're at the elite level that you're at and it has become your life, do you go, actually, I need to do something else? How do you get to that point of realization? And what's it like when you have that moment? You're like, oh, is there more to life than what I've been doing?
Oh, deep question. Good question.
I thought we better have at least one good question for this show. Sorry, Lucy, I'm not disregarding your questions earlier.
Yes, you are.
Go on then. Yeah. So what's it like when you have that moment?
Well, so I think it's not quite as dramatic as it being just a moment. Like, it was a process for me. So I think if we're committed to something for a long time, like I was with the Paralympic journey, then you keep having to tune in to what's my motivation for this, and it keeps changing. So for my first Paralympic Games in London, it was purely like the novelty. Wouldn't it be amazing to go to a Games? Can you imagine doing it in Britain where all your family and friends are there? And so it was like really driven by that curiosity of just how to get to a Paralympic Games. The second one for Rio was all about how do you get to be really good so you can win a gold medal? Like, how do you really hone in deep on performance? And that kind of got me interested and motivated. And then for Tokyo, I was trying to figure out how to do it all with more balance. So how do you still have a social life? How do you still have other elements in your life apart from just going really deep? And I guess that was me looking back, scrabbling around for having more than just this pure focus, but it didn't work out. I wasn't making mark. I ended up having loads of health problems, ended up having bladder surgery in May this year. And so I didn't make it to Tokyo. And I think it was just that realization that when your body and all the other things that are going on in your life are telling you that something else is needed, I just wasn't enjoying it to the same degree anymore. You're kind of looking for something different, and you just feel like things have got a bit stagnant, a bit stuck, a bit stale. You know, when it comes to the middle of summer and you're thinking, I've got to go and hide away and be a hermit and train and bury myself into the ground again, training, and you could do something different, then yeah, that's where I think that you just got to look for the signs, haven't you? The signs of stagnation. So, are you there?
We are. Sorry, no, I was just enjoying the conversation. It's really interesting. Like I say, I have it in my mind's eye. It's like this dramatic moment. You go, do you know what? This is not for me. But actually, it can be sort of like a gradual drip of realizing that actually you're not exactly where you want to be anymore, and having that. Yeah, that must be really strange as like an elite athlete. How can I do this but still like have a life? Do you feel like when you have that sort of conversation with yourself, when you even start to consider like, I want to have more than just being in the sport, is that the time you start thinking, I need to wind this down now? Are you kind of thinking like at that level, it's time to, is it a sign that it's time to stop, if that makes sense?
It's definitely not time to stop. Like I said, I still want to do loads of stuff, and I still ride my bike. I think it depends what your where you come from with the whole journey of performance. Like if you're doing something just to reach the end point, that's not really internally driven. You're like looking for some sort of external validation, extrinsic, intrinsic motivation. So I've always been driven by my total passion for riding my bike and being outside and learning and curiosity, rather than but it's easy for me to say that because I did get the gold medal, but so it's easy to say that's all I was driven by. But yeah, ultimately I wasn't really looking for the end point of it. So I think that just makes the process a bit different. Like I've still ridden my bike most days, apart from when I've been hospitalized since shifting track. But it just means that, yeah, I think it's like any addiction. Like there's addictions that are really bad for us, whether, like you can think of them, food, alcohol, drugs, whatever. And then there's other addictions that you might not think of as being bad, like exercise or like work or anything else, but ultimately they're still a bit of an addiction, which means that you kind of got to watch them. Like, are they actually a distraction? Are they stopping you from engaging with another bit of your life that you really would, be good to actually engage with? And yeah, it's just that awareness, I think, of why we're doing things and what lies beneath it, and then navigating it so that we can hopefully stay fairly healthy and balanced.
Amazing. What a great share. Thank you so much. Mods and speakers, if you could do me a favor, give Karen a massive mic flash. Shake your mic, give her a round of applause. Thank you, Karen, for being here. We super appreciate it. And we can't wait now for Quest 79, which is coming next week. And if you want to go and submit your own quest, Quest 79, QUEST79.com, and go and submit your quest. I've come up with it, guys, for Lucienne. I've got it.
Just do the book thing.
No. As well as that, she can do that on the side as well. As well as that, what I've decided you should do is you should train for 79 weeks. And at the 79th week, you should take on Paralympian Karen Dark in a hand bike race. What say you, Lucienne Shakir?
Yeah, that's more intriguing than the book writing one. Oh yeah,
that'd be good, wouldn't
that's a lot of weeks. That's like.
It's a lot of weeks.
Is it 54 weeks?
I'd love to have a go with a hand bike.
That's over a
year
and a half.
Yes, a year and a half. So you get to a good level. So as Karen's taking the sport, it's being less of her priority. You're making it more of your priority. You could get some of those Google Glass goggles, couldn't you? So then you could be writing, you could be transcribing your book at the same time on via Otter. You could see it in your Google Glass.
I think we
need to multitask here. We need to multitask. Right. Well, I've loved today's show. It's been a bit random, hasn't it? It's been a bit haphazard. It started off with we're talking about Beiju's offshoot website for Indian food. Beiju'sBargies.com/TWC offer. If you go there right now. In fact, we should get Beiju's Bargies on the app, guys, in the discount section. When he launches that business, we should get it in the discount section.
Huh? Yeah, it was proper barges, not restaurant ones.
Even though you used to have a restaurant, you can't say that. If you used to have a restaurant, you can't say off restaurant barges.
There's Indian food and there's
Indian food is my favourite food.
I'll cook you a meal, Lucienne, with everybody else.
I love that.
Can you bring next meeting of the minds, as we're going to call it, first Friday of the month, meeting of the minds.
There's a few here who tasted the curry. So that's good.
Just say about EMC.
Well, why don't you get onto a microphone and talk yourself here, Ashley, because you're having a conversation via me. Yeah. There you go.
Right, it was all a lie. I just got rid of James off the mic, guys. So we're all safe now. No, I've had a few messages from the people who purchased through EMC before the Winners Club went into partnership with EMC. You are all welcome in the Winners Club Lounge. So yeah, if you purchased before, you are all welcome in the Winners Club Lounge.
You just need to message us and we'll get this together and let
Yep. Lovely. No, I could hear you.
Yeah, so if you just message Matty Wilson or one of the team at Einstein Marketer, you just need to let him know, because there's different kind of lanyards and different access to different points, etc. Captain Kirk, I'm so sorry that you had that horrendous journey and you've braved the M25 for almost no purpose.
No purpose to see all you lovely people.
But other than that.
Well, I'll tell you what, there is another purpose as well to this. So I hope he's listening, Matt Wilson. It is his birthday today.
Is it?
Is that why he's not here with his friends?
Somebody get me a.
So I think we need to sing him a song.
I think we do.
Is he there? Is he there?
Is Matty even there?
I'm going to message
Oh, is it? Well, how old is he today? 35.
40 at least.
Where's Matt?
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's 30. He's 35, I think.
Straight from the heart.
No, do the Will I Am one.
Where is he? Am I blind?
It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
Go, shorty. It's your birthday.
No, the Will I Am one.
Here you go. This is the only one that you play, obviously.
Matty Wilson.
I've got a long way to the chorus. Get your tickets for Einstein Marketers Conference. Wow, it's a double verse. Is he not even here? He's not even here. Oh, we'll do it anyway, shall we? We can play it to him in the replay.
I don't know what this song is. What is this song?
Are you kidding me? Happy birthday by Stevie Wonder.
What is it? I don't know.
You don't know it?
I know,
Right,
probably
79
know
seconds to
the
get out.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to ya, mate. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. He's not even here, so there's no point doing another chorus, is there? Quite frankly. Well, there you go. Happy birthday, Matty. You never know that we care because you're not listening. So,
me and James are your friend.
yeah, Paul has said it was nice to meet you yesterday, but he still doesn't consider that to be significant enough to be classed as friendship. But me and Ashley do. Wow, what a fantastic one. Flash your mics, mods and speakers, if you've enjoyed today. Yeah, no one. That's fine. Ryan is. Also, yeah, just a couple of bits of housekeeping here. Then, so yeah, Entrepreneurs Marketing Conference (EMC) is just it's 2 weeks away now, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's 2 weeks today. Yeah, 17th, 18th, and 19th is down in Brighton at the Brighton Metropole Hilton Hotel. 3 days of tangible, actionable, usable content with no BS, no selling. You can leave your credit card at home. No one's going to walk you to the back of a room and tell you to buy something and tell you that if you need to, you know, to be significant in your life, then you need to. Well, Ashley might actually.
It's my birthday on the Saturday, so yeah. Get your credit card. I want a present. I'm fed up of socks.
So that is the Saturday is Ashley's birthday, and if you come down, if you're part of the Winners Club, so if you go onto EMC, if you haven't got a ticket yet, EMC 2021, so EMC2021.com/TWC, and that will take you to the Winners Club landing page. And if you use the code Winners Club, all one word, Winners Club, at checkout, you get 20% off. Matty doesn't do discounts, by the way, but we forced him to. Because otherwise there's like affiliate fees that he pays to people, but we're like, forget the affiliate fee. Let's just get a good discount. Let's get as many people down there as possible. There's about 50 odd people who are coming to the Winners Club Lounge already. We're going to run breakfast winners from there every single day. We're going to do lunchtime rooms with the speakers if we can get people straight off stage. Do you know who I want to get? Stephen flipping Bartlett. Get him straight off a stage, straight into Clubhouse.
Nearly there.
He's a ledge, that guy.
You can do that.
Stephen Green.
Yeah,
Stephen Green. Yeah, some amazing people. Yeah, we could do that, can't we?
Easily. Yeah.
And
chase after him with a
with a boom.
With a net.
Go. Talk to Clubhouse. Yes, we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing lunchtime rooms, and we might even do. It depends on timings.
And you know who else is there? Lucien.
But don't let that put you off. Stephen Bartlett's there.
Global speaker of the century, Lucien Jackin, who hasn't even written a book yet.
You started. You'll have started by then, though, wouldn't you? You'd be about 2 weeks. You'd be 2 weeks into it by then, wouldn't you?
When is 79 days from now? I mean, yeah.
Oh, don't go there.
November.
Carol Vorderman over there has worked out all of the metrics for you. So 24th of November.
He's got the seconds, the minutes, the days, the hours.
What's Georgia doing? Just so that we know.
She is sat in M25 traffic for 2.5 hours to get. If you think she needs to do a challenge now, you've got nothing coming your way.
I've just spent 79 minutes.
Staying calm. That would be my ultimate challenge. Stay calm in 79 minutes of traffic and don't get road rage. Yeah, okay.
79 pieces of content consecutively.
79 reels.
Yeah.
What, in a row? Consecutive content?
That's the idea. That's the whole point.
Okay. Right, okay. All right, then. I can do that. I can
Seriously
do that.
disinterested,
yeah, okay.
isn't she?
Yeah.
You can decide your own quest because everyone's in the biggest quest that we all go on is the quest in our own mind.
We can all design our own quest, but Lucienne,
But Lucienne can't.
She's
We're crowdsourcing her.
Paul should have 79 days of coaching.
That would be literally.
You can choose a coach. It doesn't have to be us. But we
from
just
the
have
coach,
to know that
can I just say, from the coach's perspective, that is 79 days you are never going to get back. Absolute flipping waste of time.
Or you probably quit coaching.
Yeah, one or the other. If you're on the fence about your coaching career, I've got the guy that will decide whether you stick in it or you jump straight out. Just go to Beju's, but not Beju's Bagels, Beju'sBarges.com/coaching opportunity, and you can find out all the information there on that website that does not exist. I'm definitely buying Beju'sBarges.com today on GoDaddy. No one else buy it. Right, thanks for being
here.
here.
Is that a bit like the TV program, The Undateables?
Yeah, coachables.
Oh, you could, yes, the Uncoachable. Oh, that would be a good show.
We could.
You guys could do that as a YouTube series. You could get Joe to film it. Joe makes mad documentaries.
We could do that, couldn't we?
We'll talk about your businesses after, don't worry, guys. Right, so thank you for being here. Yeah, go and get your EMC tickets. And as Ash mentioned, if you have already got your EMC tickets, because I know there's a lot of people who knew Matty from before he became sort of an integral part of the Winners Club and running rooms with us and stuff. If you have already got your ticket, let Matty or one of the EMC or one of the Einstein marketer team know. I'm sure 2 weeks out from the event, they'll love loads more phone calls about changing stuff. He will be absolutely delighted. What a birthday gift that we've given him. But yeah, get in touch with someone in the office and we'll make sure we get you the lanyards and the access to the Winners Club Lounge, etc. Any other AOB, any other business from you, Ashley Shipman, the king of Clubhouse? No?
No, let's rock and roll.
Beju, any other final words from you? Any other business, AOB?
That's great show. Barges coming soon. Next time we come in the studio, I'll be bringing homemade barges.
I can't wait for that.
Barges for breakfast.
Barges for breakfast. That is the breakfast of champions, isn't it? Or the breakfast of winners. Well, any AOB from you, Lucian? Shakia.
By the time you see, you would have 5,000 words done.
And you'll have loads of blisters on your feet from walking over those hot coals every day. 79 minutes. Keep running.
Thanks. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Was that has today been professional enough for you? Enough. Any other business? AOB from you, George Kirk. Captain Kirk. I feel bad that we haven't had time to use that banter to its fullest
Maybe
regard.
that was why. Maybe that's what I did.
Just sat outside in Ilford for 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's like, damn, I forgot I told James I was Captain Kirk. I can't
That
turn
was
up.
so good.
Yeah, and I'll be paying for that for life. Other than thanks for having me for the half an hour.
No, thanks for coming. We really
Sorry,
appreciate
I
it.
couldn't make a bigger contribution, but
Well,
you know,
next time. There will be another time.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys for listening. Cheers for your ears, as always. Really appreciate it. And if you've got any other questions or queries about the EMC or anything like that, just DM one of us, me or Ash or Paul. In fact, don't DM Paul. No point where the robots will respond to you. Auto-responder. So yeah, DM us in the back channel or Instagram or whatever. And don't forget, go to Quest 79. There's a lot of call to actions here. You've basically got a full-time job now from when we finish the show. Go to Quest 79, QUEST79.com, and you can pledge your quest there. I'm going to pledge mine. I'm going to do 79 burpees every hour for every hour that we're on. So hang on a second. So we're doing 10 hours, 79. So I'm going to do 790 burpees. That is suddenly looking like a lot of work. I'll do it. It'll be fine. I'll be powered by Beju's Barges.
James Burt 2.0.
On the hour. I'm not going to do it consistently. I'm going to do 79 then stop.
But it's going to take you about 20 minutes.
No, it's not. You're joking, man. I'll do it in 5 minutes and I've got 55 minutes to recover. Whatever. We're working this out.
Right, anyway, so yeah, and remember, please just go to the app. We have Lucien's photo there. Please request what she should do, and that is
pledge some pain. Pledge some pain today. All pain, all gain, because it's going to be great banter. And let's just hope it's professional. Ashley Shipman, say the final word. You know what time it is.
Let's rock and roll.
Of course it is.
You are listening to Breakfast with Winners. Exclusive content direct from the Winners Club. If you are enjoying the conversation, click on the green Monopoly house at the top of the screen right now and join the thousands of winners already in our community.
This is not the right jingle. I'm going to play this one instead. Bye.